a journalist star, lending a hand no matter who you are. Counseling with love, she's a guiding light, seeing the good even in the fight. Dr. Phil's wisdom she throws in the mix, momming it up with her signature fix. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Dedicated mind, always on the track, never letting injustice slip through the crack. Voice for the voiceless, she stands tall, breaking barriers, tearing down the wall. Every opinion she gives with care, helping others understand and share. In a world that can be so damn tough, her wisdom and love are more than enough. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Yeah, champion for them a saving grace. Quits, child, advocating every step through the wild. Digs deep for truth like a journalist star, lending a hand no matter who you are. Counseling with love, she's a guiding light, seeing the good even in the fight. Dr. Phil's wisdom she throws in the mix, momming it up with her signature fix. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Dedicated mind, always on the track, never letting injustice slip through the crack. Voice for the voiceless, she stands tall, breaking barriers, tearing down the wall. Every opinion she gives with care, helping others understand and share. In a world that can be so damn tough, her wisdom and love are more than enough. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Yeah, champion for them a saving grace. Child, advocating every step through the wild, digs deep for truth like a journalist star, lending a hand no matter who you are. Counseling with love, she's a guiding light, seeing the good even in the fight. Dr. Phil's wisdom she throws in the mix, momming it up with her signature fix. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Dedicated mind always on the track, never letting injustice slip through the crack. Voice for the voiceless, she stands tall, breaking barriers, tearing down the wall. Every opinion she gives with care, helping others understand and share. In a world that can be so damn tough, her wisdom and love are more than enough. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Yeah, champion for them a saving grace. Child, advocating every step through the wild, digs deep for truth like a journalist star, lending a hand no matter who you are. Counseling with love, she's a guiding light, seeing the good even in the fight. Dr. Phil's wisdom she throws in the mix, momming it up with her signature fix. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission strong and true, champion for them a saving grace. Dedicated mind, always on the track, never letting injustice slip through the crack. Voice for the voiceless, she stands tall, breaking barriers, tearing down the wall. Every opinion she gives with care, helping others understand and share. In a world that can be so damn tough, her wisdom and love are more than enough. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Yeah, champion for them a saving grace. Child, advocating every step through the wild, digs deep for truth like a journalist star, lending a hand no matter who you are. Counseling with love, she's a guiding light, seeing the good even in the fight. Dr. Phil's wisdom she throws in the mix, momming it up with her signature fix. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Dedicated mind, always on the track, never letting injustice slip through the crack. Voice for the voiceless, she stands tall, breaking barriers, tearing down the wall. Every opinion she gives with care, helping others understand and share. In a world that can be so damn tough, her wisdom and love are more than enough. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Yeah, champion for them a saving grace. She's got a heart that never quits, child, step through the wild, digs deep for truth like a journalist star, lending a hand no matter who you are. Counseling with love, she's a guiding light, seeing the good even in the fight. Dr. Phil's wisdom she throws in the mix, momming it up with her signature fix. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission.
Oh my goodness, this is one interesting evening. How are you all? I can't even tell you. Between the weather and the tech issues, it was just a lot. A lot. But thank you for joining me for part 2, where we're going to finish doing our review. You guys are doing well. I thank you so much for joining me. Where were we here? All right, let's get back over here. We're going to be reviewing The Stepfather of Sebastian that was on a YouTube channel called Fluminate. And I will put the link in the description. Hey Trishy, I am back. Can you hear me okay? Hello, Mike. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Trying to speed this up on 2 times the speed. This is excruciatingly long, and I'm not quite sure that it's very valuable. However, as with every single one of these spiels that we seem to hear, there's a lot of interesting things that have been said, so we can expect the unexpected. I'll share Mike Damon's link demand because he has the most incredible videos on statement analysis that I think I've ever seen on the internet, and I have been so intrigued by statement analysis. I know behavioral analysis is something that everybody likes, but I don't really think behavior is anything like people's actual wording, especially how much he highlights in the beginning before anything could become scripted and convenient and planned, and it's very fresh in your mind. So he is definitely the place to go to learn about all the beginning interviews. He has fantastic content. I'm just a lady that is going through finishing up some stuff in college, and I enjoy learning about this and trying to figure it all out, make sense of it, which I know we can't really make sense of it, but we can in a way.
Verticals, there are drops, there's caves, there's depression.
Just trying to understand the fascination with going on and talking about things in this weird manner that's always been said. A lot of interesting stuff has been said, in my opinion.
Yeah, y'all got George out of here, right? I assume.
Yeah, they're gone.
No, but it's completely appropriate for a parent to get on someone's panel and pretend like they're jacking their dick. Cool, got you.
No.
See where we stand
We're not
there.
going down that road.
No, it was.
It was a comment.
It's somebody that was in the chat.
Very sorry that I couldn't give you a warning on that, but this is just how these people talk.
That's gone now. Capital K has got a question. Said, have you given up on local searches for Sebastian?
No. Nope.
Any plans of any organized ones? I know, I heard Dolly specifically be talking about, organized searches. Is there any plans of any organized ones? Are you taking part in any of that, or anything to say about that?
If there's an organization that wants to spearhead a search like that, that has the ability to have medical staff available, things like that, because there's a lot of risk involved. If you haven't been in this area, the terrain is very treacherous. It's not a flat plain. There are hills and mountains that go straight vertical. There are drops. There's caves. There's depressions. There's valleys. There's ridges. If somebody was to, an organization that specializes in things like that, if they were to do it, sure, we would volunteer and we would be very helpful in that. But as far as me putting out there, like, here's a sign-up sheet, come, no, I'm not doing that. I can't. I work, Katie works, and there's like I said, there's a lot of legal issues with doing things like that. Plus, private property around here is just that. It's private. You have to ask permission to get on it. That is things that need to kind of be done ahead of time and worked out with the landowners before you just start traipsing through their property.
I've seen EquiSearch brought up in here a couple of times. Have y'all reached out to them?
Yes, we've actually worked hand in hand with, I think her name is Twyla, if I say it correctly.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
We've worked with her and her team. Unfortunately, they can only come back if law enforcement requests them back. So, but I mean, they came out.
See how he tried to take ownership of that? And we heard that extensive interview on the Duty Ron show. I could actually link it in the description, where she went on, and he's now saying it's her team, but it's actually, that's very interesting. All right. I just wanted to add that.
Here, they were amazing. They did their drone stuff and spoke with us, and I think they spoke with Seth a little bit. I'm not
EquiSearch,
sure,
I think is the
but
name of it.
they were awesome to work with. I'd work with them again.
It is apparently really bad out there.
Yeah, I'm watching it on the
Are
radar.
you?
I think it's gonna go just to the west of us.
Okay. It always does. I thought they...
we got lightning over here.
Do you?
Yeah.
That means it's probably, well, we can't see where we're sitting out the window, so. But I haven't even heard thunder.
No, we have.
Well, you could kind of tell, like, earlier when we were outside of the courthouse, right? Like I don't know, just in the air, right?
Well, the temperature changed, the humidity changed.
Yeah.
Wind changes, yeah.
Yeah, there's like apparently 26 tornado warnings right now. And I just came across my phone. Benton, Henry, Decatur, Madison, and Carroll counties all have tornado warnings. That's crazy. There are 25 active tornado warnings.
I know you don't promote like channels and stuff.
Mhm.
So if I say this guy's name wrong, forgive me. But what's that Max Velocity dude or Ryan Hall, whatever his name is?
Oh, everyone in here pretty much watches Ryan.
Oh, okay. Well, that dude's pretty dang good.
I love him. Like when there's weather, I'm on his channel. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I'll do max velocity if I'm like, I don't know. See, Ryan Hall, y'all. Like everyone pretty much watches Ryan. That dog.
That was Valentine. He's my little buddy.
I figured.
Yeah, they're kind of anxiety right now with the lightning and the thunder.
So we're talking
Hold on a
about,
second,
I have, for fair use, we have to flabber a little bit in between. So now we're talking about other YouTube channels like Max Velocity, which is a very large channel. Isn't that interesting? He seems to have a lot of information about YouTube channels, which is what I've always hypothesized. Not that it, matters. It's my unasked 2 cents, that there's quite the involvement in YouTube and social media content influencing, right? And it seems like if we go back to Smiley Story World, like we did a few hours ago, and I could play it again if needed, or I can give you the link to the clip where he stated that, he met with people, they came up with a plan, and then 2 or 3 days in, Seth went his way, grandma went her way. And it's very interesting if you listen to the specifics where he says that they had a plan 2 or 3 days in for content. Just leaving it out there. It's very odd.
Almost positive Twyla said on duty, Ron, that they would come back if they were called by either Ellie or parents.
If by the parents, then I'll reach back out to them. But I'll double check that.
My dogs are awake now. Thanks, Valentine. That's crazy. If you see a tornado on
Is
the
that
night,
you, Trishy?
Or tonight.
Trishy, is that you? You're muted. Hello?
If I see a tornado tonight, you will see me on the news. LMAO, I saw the whole thing.
Oh, please. How many hours is
tornadoes.
this?
What the hell?
What?
Laughing Heart said, does Katie give her puppies blueberry facials?
Oh, I meant to ask her that and I forgot.
No, we don't give blueberry facials. They get blueberries for like treats and rewards.
No, it's this thing that they do. It's like a puppy spa thing. I don't know. I'm surprised she doesn't do it.
Facials? No, but they do get spa days.
Yeah, I knew it. I told you. Those are like the most spoiled dogs I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy. And they're little.
Get this close. I've always said this from the beginning. How are they this close to the family? How is this, how does this happen? How are you this comfortable? We're talking about dogs being spoiled and blueberry facials for animals. And this young man still isn't home and he still doesn't have any justice. And they could just sit up here with 2,000 people in the chat and the tip jar is shaking and the money coming in. I just
sweaters, they're so cute.
Apparently they're I don't know if it's open yet, but they're opening something called Canine Resort right there in Gallatin. Right
Really?
there by the Kroger's on the Gallatin Road, yeah.
Kalina Sandlin said, ask Chris to say roll tide.
Roll Tide.
a lot of times what I've done, if you're looking through the chat, Mike, is I'll go back, obviously not listening. I'll just have it muted and then just scroll through and you can see the live chat replay. But what you can do is you can search the transcript. And I know the transcripts are not verbatim, but they do really help if you're looking for something specific. So if you remember like a specific statement, like I think you said something about you passed with flying colors. And I remember that being in one of the lie detector descriptions. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to my home, to get to my office, to the computer. Or what I would have done is I would have went on to the live streams. I would have opened the transcript and then Control F on a Windows will let you search by putting a code, a keyword in or a sentence or a phrase, and it'll pull that up wherever it is on the transcript. And that saves a lot of time. But you probably already know that, but just in case anybody doesn't, it saves a lot of time if you're trying to look for certain things, because these are hours long. They're extremely redundant. And I know they're excruciating to listen to. I understand that at times.
My dogs ain't getting anything like that. No, them dogs are spoiled, dude. Like, it's bad. But someone said, not good, don't do it. I don't know.
These dogs have a Tempur-Pedic little bed.
They really do. And they even have like a little, what is it? Like a little sofa chase.
They have a little a leather couch.
Yeah.
They have a little couch that for them.
It's so cute. It's like a little dog couch. Literally, it's like just high enough that they could just pick up their little selves and sprawl out on it. It's adorable. Hartley said, "Stop. I'm dead serious."
Didn't I hear B. Tim say that they ought to feed the dogs pup cups
Oh yeah.
because they need to be plumper?
Yep. Need to gain weight.
I thought I heard B.
Well,
Tim.
She's got them pup cups.
He's gonna tell Queen I'm banned for saying that.
B. Tim.
Oh yeah, Alabama. I forgot about Alabama mama. She's a bit of an ass.
Oh,
but we like her.
fantastic, Mike. Fantastic. I'll keep the notifications on. I'm always watching everything you post, and I'll hop over and watch it. That's fantastic. Yes, Mike, I realize that. I've been listening to you. And I think in a little bit of a way, all of us have a little something to offer to try to see, it's very interesting when he has people talking about him and highlighting a lot of what he used to say. I noticed that he'll come out. And then he did, right? We have 2 days of a lot of interesting things. So maybe that's also going to be helpful for other people, right? Maybe not on a live, but maybe in other ways, other attitudes, who knows? But I've noticed this is very unique. And hopefully I never sit here and go over another case in this way. It feels really odd. I hope no parents do anything like this ever again, and that we are sitting here discussing a court case. But I will definitely be looking forward to your statement analysis on what I'm at a loss for words, Mike. I have nothing appropriate to say about this anymore with this gentleman, because I think we all understand and have our feelings.
Tell Chris that Smiley said that Chris wants her. LMAO. That.
That's funny.
Just. We are the help channel, right? So if we can help, feelings.
I mean, that would definitely help with celibacy. I mean, I guarantee you that would help with that.
Now, remember all the discussions that were had about Seth Rogers, the biological father that didn't even do anything in the manner in which these people, I think, made thousands of dollars and distracted a lot of people and made him look bad. And listen to the inappropriate nature of these conversations. And I'll remind you, we can go back in my old lives, or I could do more lives when I'm sitting here, momming it up, doing my multitasking. And we could go back and listen again, where they have had many inappropriate conversations all the way back in May with the stepfather. And that was overlooked and because they go on for hours. But we can go right to those timestamps and we can zone in right on those inappropriate things just to highlight that there's been multiple times that this is how they act and this is how close they are. Very appropriate.
And then Kimberly Ashcraft wants you to know, gotta tell Chris, that mullet he had in court a while back was epic. Hell yeah, roll tide. You've lost weight though. Do you know that?
A little bit. I'm trying to lose more. I'll probably grow the mullet back out here soon.
I was going to say, is the weight you lost that of the mullet or additional?
That's probably an additional.
About 5 pounds or so.
Yeah, give or take. When I went and had it cut off, the lady was like, "Are you serious? This is luscious." I was like, "Yeah." Can't call it my hard hat.
She literally said you have your mullet is luscious.
Mullet?
Yeah, the lady cut my hair. This is luscious. I was like, okay.
Let's discuss his weight. What the actual fuck? I can discuss his weight. I can tell him he lost weight if I want to. It's my mouth.
I don't. Guess what? People, I've been called everything under the sun. I don't care.
I
At
didn't
the end
call
of the
you
day, guess
fat.
what?
Just an
I didn't
FYI.
say you did. I didn't say you did. I just said at the end of the day, I have a lovely wife who I go to bed with,
I know
and that's
that's
all that
right.
matters.
Ain't it? And apparently you're doing it right because she was in a good mood, unlike other people. So I'm just saying. I already said that. I already told y'all. Mila, get out. Just go.
Let's discuss this weight. I mean, the weight of what? The weight of the pressure on our shoulders, the fact that we're missing our son.
Don't worry, Chad will
I
get her.
don't know.
They'll get her.
Wait, the weight. Wait, you know what it is? It's the weight of the personal jet that we own. That's what it must be. Must be the,
I bet
the personal
it's
jet.
heavy though, for real. I mean,
Well, it is actually. So we're in the process. We are trading up. We are moving from a Gulfstream G550 to the 650. They're on sale right now. You can get a good used one because everybody's going up to the 750. So you can get a good deal on the 650 right now.
God. Whoa. Purple Dragon Shill said, I live at the north tip of Tornado Alley in Canada, and our province state has the only F5 tornado 45 minutes away. Send me your tornadoes. I love storm. You brave ass bitch. I don't know what's wrong with you, girl.
Oh my God.
I can't fuck with tornadoes. It terrified me.
They get a Vegeta 5 in Canada.
I was thinking the same thing. Like,
That's kind of cool.
So we're talking about buying new vehicles because, in this lovely economy, we're all able to just go out and buy new vehicles. And we're going to talk about tornadoes, even though we live in an area that frequently gets tornadoes. And now we're going to talk about Canada. This is interesting. This is so appropriate, it seems, right?
with a cat cafe, that's weird. You people do weird stuff for your animals. Not judging. I'm just saying that, like, it's weird stuff. A cat cafe?
Actually, the cat cafes, I've heard of these. And when Sebastian comes home, we plan on, well, I can't say we, Katie will be taking him to a cat cafe. You get to sit down, enjoy lattes, coffees, drinks, whatever. You can read, hang out with cats that roam freely in the cafe. It's kind of cool. Just not for me. I'm allergic to cats. So,
Ew, why would you want to? Ew, you can imagine the hair in that place? Ugh, I can't stand when I get a hair in my mouth. I swear to God, if I would just shove hair in all my food, I'd never eat. Like, I would never.
I'm sorry.
Ew.
I'm over here losing my fucking mind because when you're talking, I'm trying to watch chat.
Oh, they're
Tammy's
hilarious.
clips just said, Chris, can you say machete?
That ain't how he says it.
Well,
Machete.
she's wanting him to say it.
you want me to say machete?
There you go. Machete.
Machete.
I'm sorry, but no, that's like dander and
We've all seen her bathroom and her car. Remember the video when she went to Sebastian Rogers' vigil in August, the day that she just so happened to make the recording of the influencer, the independent investigative journalist, Bullhorn Betty. That day when she weaved in and out of cars saying murdering several times. I'm out murdering today, y'all, and all that. We saw the car at that time, so I don't know how honest this is. And then on top of it,
that's not good. I'm sorry.
Well, I think you have to have a love for cats in that aspect. I mean, there are some places and restaurants that do allow dogs to go inside. So
so on top of it, we're going to talk about machete. They find this comical, this kind of stuff. It's
6 one way, have a dozen another, so to speak.
All right, fine. I guess if they clean it, whatever. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Sorry.
B. Tim, I see you're in here. He said, Cletus, put your hair beard in her Clue's food if you're ever mad at her. Well, and BTM, just, I don't know how much of this you heard, but I told Chris you advised him to feed the dogs pup cups because I know you're a fan of dogs gaining weight.
I can search the
Thank you,
transcript,
Brew in
Mike.
Hell. And that's exactly what the hell I want around my latte. Just saying.
Let's see. I'll pull up the
Brandy J
transcript and
wants to know
count.
if you want to pet Justin's monkey.
No.
He said no.
Nope. I don't know where that monkey's been or what it's been up to, so politely I will decline.
Oh, ain't that right, Cricket Day? She said, you all are bad.
I realized I was judging the cat cafe, so I said, you know what? That's fine. If you guys are into it, do your thing. Chat has gone rogue. I don't know what the hell they're doing in here.
It's your chat. That's what they do. It's
true.
always fucking rogue in here.
Does Chris know about the blue gum? No, I don't know. Don't know. Don't care.
Do I know about what now?
The blue gumball.
Oh my God.
I'm going to say no. I mean,
Good answer. Good answer. Y'all are wild.
I'm not doing this. I'm reading what you people are writing. Don't tell me to stop. You guys stop. And Trisha Talks says, much love to Chris and Katie from a UK naval veteran. Thank you, Trisha. You raised us. I'm not taking credit for that at all. I'm also not.
So I'll show you over here. I just paused at the 2-hour, 41-minute, and 15-second mark. I'll put the link in the chat again. And then let me just open the other screen where I pulled up the transcript so I can show you when they mentioned Sebastian over an hour ago in the beginning of the live. Oh, that's not it. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, so over here, I opened the transcript, as you can see, and I searched Sebastian, and as you can see, now there was 9 comments, but they were all coming down here in the comments of the actual video. So the first time it came in chat was 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 24-second mark. And
around all 3 parents, trying to get Sebastian's face, name, his case out there so that we can get this more nationwide, not just a local or hit or miss. So that's a great thing. I do think it's supposed to air.
So he's going back to talk about, I guess, the America's Most Wanted. Let's see.
I don't know. I don't make my living on a YouTube channel. Sorry for anybody that does.
No, that's not how I do it. But she cooks a lot, so I need.
So it looks like they were talking about Bullhorn Betty, and somehow they finally bring up Sebastian when they're talking about America's Most Wanted.
To ask her.
And you gotta look. Betty's waiting to see that cookbook come out real soon. Betty's wonderful recipes. What it was 101 ways to kill yourself. Botulism. So.
Oh my God.
It might happen one day.
I take it from your candidness, you're kind of over
Oh my God.
with this internet.
Just a little.
Yeah.
101 ways to kill yourself is botulism. Did you hear that?
I'm trying to refrain from just getting on their level, because Lord knows it really don't solve anything, but I kind of see why they do it, because in a way it's kind of fun. But I don't know. I don't make my living on a YouTube channel. Sorry for anybody that does. I don't. I have a job, and so does Katie, and I don't tell people I make $200,000 in one court case and Then turn around and tell everybody else to make $20,000 to $40,000 in another court case. It's probably why she doesn't want to do discovery with Queen, from what I understand.
Yeah. Actually, number one Gypsy, thank you for the super chat first and foremost, but she has a question. She wants to know if I can ask you about America's Most Wanted, possible thought of abduction.
I'm just interjecting real quick. Also, this darn fair use. But I want to say that Mike has said something that I have always thought to myself, and I put in my notes for what it's worth from myself, is the local, the connections with the local. And I've always asked, have people done searches, real intense searches in the cemetery area around the house? Only because if you go back to the earlier live streams, there is a lot of nonsense that was all around that cemetery. If you go back, we had the Riley Lively, the United Cajun Navy that came in, and that lady had put out that horrible clickbait video of the cemetery. There was a lot of stuff going on with that cemetery that was right outside the neighborhood. And there was the rumor mill about the mom leaving for 3 to 5 minutes, never getting out of the car. From what I was told by locals, this is all just rumor. So, right, I'm not law enforcement. I did not see anything for a fact. But that's what I take, what I feel when I look somebody in the eyes, or if I could source it twice, just for my opinion, my hypothesis. And I always wonder, did people actively go back and search right there in that area around the cemetery, right outside the school? And I just figured it. Let me mention it because I can't wait to see Mike do it. I can't wait to your videos, Mike. I really can't.
Abduction?
Ask the question.
That's her question. She wants
Possible
your thoughts
thought of an abduction
on the America's Most Wanted and possible thoughts of abduction.
So
I'm sorry.
That's her question.
Did he just say on
wants
the
to know-
abduction? I always thought that's what he told people happened, to rope him in. Let's see. What did he just say with my big mouth? Tricia, I'm going to pull you up, but I'm just going to let him finish his statement real quick.
then turn around and tell everybody else to make $20,000 to $40,000 in another court case. It's probably why she doesn't want to do discovery with Queen, from what I understand.
Yeah. Actually, number one Gypsy, thank you for the super chat.
Can you hear me?
He has a question.
Yeah,
He wants to
hi.
know if I
I'm
can
just
ask you about
replaying what he
America's
was
Most
saying to hear
Wanted,
what he said about
possible
America's
thoughts
Most Wanted.
of abduction.
See, listen, the abduction.
Ask the question.
That's her question. She wants
Possible
your thoughts
thought of an abduction.
on the America's Most Wanted and
For some reason, I cannot hear
Of
anything.
So, for the America's Most Wanted, it's a new series that's coming out.
God.
Called America's Most Wanted Missing Persons. Apparently, this is something that they've started up. There was a few cases that were selected, and we are very fortunate to be, Sebastian's case is one of those cases that were selected. Those were not handed down by local law enforcement. Those were handed out from what I believe to be known as the FBI. It was filmed last week. It was a 2-day deal. So they filmed me and Katie on Monday, and then they filmed Seth on Tuesday. From what I understand, it was a very successful all the way around, all 3 parents. So there's no drama. It is factual based around all 3 parents. Trying to get Sebastian's face, name, his case out there so that we can get this more nationwide, not just a local or hit or miss. So that's a great thing.
So,
I do think it's supposed to.
okay, that means that they weren't all 3 parents together, like he's tried to, brainwash everyone and get us to think over and over, right? He repeatedly likes to throw Seth into his conversations. They were on 2 separate days. It's very interesting. Let me go back 10
so that we
seconds.
can get this more nationwide, not just a local or hit or miss.
Local again.
So that's a great thing. I do think it's supposed to air sometime the end of April. I don't have an exact date. And no, we do not know what it's going to look like. We will find out when everybody else finds out. possible abduction. Once again, that's a speculation thing. I don't have any proof or anything of that. I mean, I'm only going off of what law enforcement does, finds, and go from there. I mean, it's not, speculations aren't going to get us anywhere but more drama.
Well, and I think the question was probably based on people have looked into what gets America's Most Wanted involved, but I think you cleared that up with saying it's like a new sort of spinoff about missing people. So that's
yeah. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a great show. I do hope that it will not only succeed in this part, but I hope it keeps going just like America's Most Wanted. I think it'll do awesome, honestly.
Wow.
No, I think it's a good opportunity to get, really spotlight attention on a big platform in a way, like you said, hope, there's no drama in it. And that'll be great.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, there was,
It'd be great. What would be great is if when I'm out and about carrying my tote bag that has Sebastian's picture, or one of our vehicles, when somebody comes by and looks at the flyer in the windows, in the back windows, if they didn't ask me, who is that? That would be great. If people that actually lived in the local area all knew about the teenager that was missing, allegedly without shoes and all this nonsense, wouldn't that be great? But let's get people all across the nation and the world. And right here, right where the child lived and just vanished. Well, who cares if everybody here knows, right? With their crooked sign in the front yard for months.
when they interviewed, it was just Katie, myself, and Seth. That was it. There's nobody else being interviewed. No outside sources, entities. I think they do reach out to the sheriff's department. And things like that, but no private investigators, no spokespersons, no nothing. None of that is included. It was strictly factual base, and it's Katie, myself, and Seth, and that's it.
Pete, thank you for a super chat. Wants to know if you're reporting each violation, please, and severity. I don't know what that means.
I'm not sure about the severity. Violations, yes, they are being documented, and they are being handled by law enforcement. It's outside of it. Once it gets to that point, it's outside of us. It's for law enforcement to handle.
I don't know. This is crazy. Like every week, dude, it reaches another level of like, just when you think like it's been to the top, every week it's like something else happens, and it's like, how are we even here? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I could take you back to the beginning where Clue was outside with her partner that she calls him Cletus. That's their stage names, right? And they were out there with night vision goggles, and they were sitting on live stream showing the house from Zillow. Somehow they had permission to do that from the beginning, talking about how they had people over for dinner and speculating about them being swingers. I could tell you where a lot of the drama and rumors came from, because we can go back to the woman that came here on a YouTube platform at the time with only 7,000 or 8,000 subs, if I recall. Very little content coming in, profitable, monetized wise, right? Income, lucrative nature wasn't there. And lots of it. So I just want to say for the record that obviously that's all out there and that's all downloaded, including everything that's been deleted. I know FBI, LE, everybody like that would always have everything. However, I want to just say it's very interesting every time you hear this scripting of all that they've said, because we have lots of this little clique and their comfy, cozy discussions, right? With lots of slurring and comfort. Very interesting. They wonder where the drama and the distractions all come from. When they're done with this statement, I will move on to the next time that they say Sebastian, we'll go to the next time that Sebastian's mentioned. I believe it's an hour from now.
God, I don't know. I just don't get it. You know what I mean?
If anybody wants me to go to anything or search for anything specific, just let me know. But this is all I can think of that I could do, which feels like my little part in helping. And for the record, as everybody that follows me knows, I love to do content. I never planned on coming and making content in this manner, which is why I didn't monetize until last week. I didn't want to monetize. We joked around about super chats and cash apps, and a friend sent a $5 super chat. Never made money off this child. I just literally hit the monetize thing. I want to see the reaction because I am local and I have had a very different experience looking at this case, not from my independent investigative journalism hobby or my psychology hobby, which I love, and I want to get my PhD one day when the kids allow that. I came in very differently for everybody that isn't aware of that. So I look at this for a very different reason. I'm not playing Ellie. I'm just trying to understand what happened and why. Because I was a nobody when people were very disturbing with me in this family. I was an absolute nobody in this case. My family was nobodies in this case. And that's why I started to really pay attention to this.
It's always something. Always something.
Oh, Petty was referencing that text message that she sent to Yada.
So that I really, I mean, that's okay. Yeah, I guess in a way it's considered third party contact. However, I do feel that Miss Yada will probably do what she needs to do to take action upon that. But that's something that would be up to Miss Yada.
T-Dub is asking, are there any leads on Sebastian's case? Anything, any updates that you guys are aware of?
God.
Okay, so here we are.
I mean,
Cletus is the one asking a question from the chat regarding Sebastian. So still, Christopher Proudfoot, the stepfather, has not brought up Sebastian on his own accord. He was asked about Sebastian regarding America's Most Wanted, and now he is being asked again about Sebastian from a comment in chat by the character stage named Cletus on the Cluminati show. Timestamp is 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 41 seconds.
Everything that law enforcement said as it stands right now, they're going to hold things close to the chest. They are working on the case, but I mean, as it stands, I mean, I think Chief Craddock said it best that leads have come in, but they've kind of dwindled down. I think when this America's Most Wanted gets posted and gets aired, I think that'll be a great opportunity to see if more leads and tips come in. And maybe that'll hopefully get us an answer and start leading us in the right direction.
There's a question from PJ. How come they don't correct the CPS 5 report allegations, since it's being rumored it was only 5 because follow-ups? Why not clear that up?
I wish I had an answer for that. What I do know, there are people who need content. There are people who need to speak and give misinformation and misdirection, and that is their choice. However, a person with a brain and anybody who's been able to see the CPS reports should be able to see that there's actually only 3 CPS reports. And they'll be able to distinguish that. Now, I'm not going to go into what these CPS reports say. I will make this statement out there. If they ever are eligible to come to light, there's going to be some people who are going to have quite a bit of backpedaling to do. then unfortunately that's on them, not on us.
That's facts. Angel says, I'm so sorry that you are being targeted in this way. They should understand how traumatic this is for you all. And
Well, that ought to prove to you real quick that it's not about Sebastian. That's just about these people who are. I really don't want to go down this road, but I'm going to make this statement. When these people feel this miserable, they have no other means but to drag people down with them. So that's why they do what they do.
yeah. And Miss Dakota wants to know.
Oh my God.
Can Christ Proudfoot cleanse all of our energies from Samael too, since he's here?
Oh my God.
You know, if I had a law degree or a paralegal degree, I'm pretty sure in spell check on a computer, I'd make sure that my documents sounded and looked quite right. I'm pretty sure that's frowned upon in that line of work. You can't even spell.
There is that. It
Wow.
had to be a trip, though, to be called Christ. I mean, like, I know, honestly, in her heart of hearts, in her soul of souls, I think Betty does idolize you. So I feel like, you know, she just put it in writing for us all to see.
Maybe she's found a new path. Maybe she's looking for the road to glory. I'm not sure. I mean, I do wish her the best on it. I hope that's what she's doing.
Well, I mean, you guys keep asking about the ground penetrating radar and stuff like that. I can tell you guys, I've told you this once before, but Chris and Katie are dedicated to finding their son, right?
Here's somebody else talking about it again, not him. She has to answer it.
They do things in the background. They don't need to come out here, get in the spotlight, get ass pats and attaboys and pats on the head. I can 100% assure you. And let me tell you, the stuff that they're doing, it's not free, right? The legitimate search things are being done on their dime, right? So they are not stopping the search for their son, period. Will you hear about it on the internet? No, you won't.
Yeah, and unfortunately, no. I mean, she's very correct. We're not going to come out in the public and videotape and start posting on everything that we have done and are currently involved with or have planned. One, it just, if you publicize it, then too many people get involved and more people just tend to get in the way for certain things. And it's just not conducive to what needs to be done, unfortunately. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not an organizer. I'm not going to sit here and organize a 500 person search party, line us up in a line and start marching through fields. I can't, because one, there's a lot of legal issues. There's a lot of health issues. You got to have certain things in place, and that's just not something that we are equipped to do. But trust me, we do appreciate everybody looking. If you want to go out there and look on your own, please be safe. If you see something of interest, take pictures. Don't touch it.
Oh my
Reach out to your
God.
local law enforcements, whatever. But just be safe. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, but when it comes to what we do, no, I'm not going to publicize it and advertise it. And yeah, I'm going to go this route. I'm not grifting on it.
So,
You know,
Proud.
Really, because I'm sure they're going to earn probably 10 to 15,000 off of this live. We all know how the watch time's working these days. It's not hard to figure out. One of the reasons I monetized was so I could do the breakdown mathematically and actually understand what we're looking at here financially, means, motives, opportunity, just for myself. And I think it's really concerning, as I'm sure we all do, the way that he talks about the control of wanting to be out there and controlling things. And we can all speculate in our minds why. we can all speculate in our minds why.
Mimi has a question that I think a lot of people in here probably have in their head too. Is there anything that we can do to help?
Oh, real quick, I also want to remind you, he had no problem coming out and taking the photos with the drone in September. That was right after I was on the panel and I was asking the questions about that guy that was in the woods that made the video the day before and was out searching with some of the very people that we're watching right now on live streams and acting really cryptic and really odd. And also, he had no problem going out in December and doing the search with the other creator, the local guy, Crabtree, I think is his name, and the partner, Cletus, that we're hearing right now. And they were using a spirit box while they were out there. We could go, you guys can go back and listen to the words that Chris used. There's some things that Chris Proudfoot mentioned while he was on that stream with Crabtree. I don't know if it's still up. If it is, I will put the video in chat if anybody wants to go look through the transcript and listen to what he said. But he pointed out different holes and things. And he also pointed out a couple alleged sightings. Yeah, very interesting stuff. But he had no problem doing that. But of course, we're not going to talk about actually searching and what we're doing.
Everybody's looking. The prayers, keep your prayer warriors out there. Keep them strong. That's always a good thing. Not getting involved in the drama is a huge help. As far like I don't know, like we're not ones to, I guess, go here and ask for money or things like that. That's just not us. And as soon as you get involved with money, it's a sticky situation, and that's just not something I want us involved in. I really don't. To give you an idea, like the ground penetrating radar stuff. So that is a very specific science and forensics to ground penetrating, and you have to be licensed in that area, and it's expensive. I mean, to get a team, to get stuff like that, you're probably looking at 5 figures just to get the equipment, get the team out here. I mean, because when you request these services, you've got to pay for like hotel fees, you got to pay for travel, their services. They don't do it for free. As much as we would love for them to, they do have to get paid. But I mean, that's not a field where it's an abundance of people. You can just go get somebody from the next county over or whatever. It's very hard to find somebody licensed. So it takes a while. We're working on it, but just kind of takes a while.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
No, you're good.
No,
I'm
you're
trying
fine.
to catch
Another
them
one.
as you go to. Any, I've seen it several times in the chat, so I'll go ahead and ask you any comments you got about Steve and his engagement.
As far as, I guess, what I mean, I guess if you're
So they're saying Steve, and I'm just hypothesizing that would speculating that's what SF investigates, the investigator, Stephen Fisher, because it could be Stephen Crabtree, but it seems that they know this person on the first name basis of Steve. That's what I'm gathering.
you're asking about drama, I'm not.
No,
I
they're
don't
asking.
answer
They're
as far as, I guess, what I mean, I guess if you're asking about drama, I'm not.
no,
I
they're
don't
asking.
answer the
They're
drama
asking if
stuff.
he's still involved. Is what they're asking.
As far as I know, Steve Fisher may or still be involved. He's not working just one case. Steve, as last time I checked, I think he has like 8 cases. He cannot dedicate 100% of his time to Sebastian's case. So he kind of spreads his time around to different cases. The man just like everybody else, can get overwhelmed with certain things, and you kind of take a breather. So if he needs I think right now, I don't know if he's on a vacation or something, but we talked about, hey, look, once you take a break, appreciate it, things like that. But as far as I know, he still works the case. But he does have other cases he has to work, and we have to respect that. We can't just be selfish. So
Be selfish. If you're paying somebody to try to find your missing child or whatever happened to them, would you not immediately replace them with people that would put your child first and do what they're hired to do? Okay.
A little bit off wants me to read this to you. I'm praying for you both every single day. I hope you're both holding up okay. I think of Sebastian every day.
thank you so much. We appreciate it. And like I said, our hugs and our prayers go out to everybody out there. If we could wrap our arms around you, we could. If we would, all that good fun stuff.
It's weird, isn't it?
Sounded scripted to me, and all that good fun stuff. It's good psychological, I love you nonsense that people try to rope you in with. Listen, like, I give a lot of credit to people that can sit here and listen. And I know sometimes you have to listen 5-6 times because so many things fly right past you. And it makes me nauseous listening to it. It always has. It really does.
Always weird.
It's like love, like weird. I don't know. I'm different with that.
Well,
mushy stuff
so
I'm
look at it
not
like
good
this.
with.
Well, okay. Everybody has the ability for compassion. It is something that I think it's not exercised a lot nowadays, because I think you should consider what people go through and not just keep poking a bear, so to speak. If you were in this situation, you'd have some emotions and feelings, and people would prey upon those and irritate you and say things and try to get under your skin. For what, though?
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, we're all God's children in one way or another. You have to love each other. There's enough evil in this world.
Strongly like, I think is we can strongly like one another. And
Oh my
God, somebody asked how Katie is holding up. You know what's crazy is every time that I see Katie, and you could probably agree with this, there's a different emotion. It's like she's literally like a fucking roller coaster. Like today, I feel like I felt more like just kind of like you, right over the bullshit, and a little like just anger, not anger, but like, fuck, I'm so done with having to come to this courthouse. And you know what I mean? Like,
nobody finds it odd. I've said this till the cows come home, how her and her husband can answer these questions, and they can go on and on and on, but they allegedly just met them and be clean close to them not even a year ago. Bullshit, in my opinion. And that is my opinion. I believe they definitely knew Katie before Sebastian went missing. And until somebody can show me otherwise, I'm going to stick with that gut feeling. And she and her husband can answer and have answered in a manner that I don't feel has ever been scripted. It seems way too authentic. The comfort level of being in front of their house in night vision goggles and going around in dark and joking about murdering is despicable, and it makes me nauseous. I don't like it. That's just my 2 cents. And I wanted to just say that I think it's odd, because who answers these questions when the husband's sitting there? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't at all.
It's tiresome. Yeah,
like
it is. It's tiresome. But
take off work, come down here. Like, I mean, you could just, today, I definitely felt that, you know what I mean? A little bit from her.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, too. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it does suck having to take off work and come in and do all this stuff. And both sides of the aisle, I guarantee you there was people from various areas You know, there may have been people who traveled farther than others to come into this
God.
court, to be in the court case today. It is what it is. I know Betty traveled from Florida.
Oh
You know,
my
I know she's
God.
got to be tired from driving back and forth. I know she's got to be. You know, it does suck. You know, but I mean, it is what it is. You know.
Yeah, she showed me her, like, it's so crazy because even though like she does seem like, you know, like irritated and over the BS, right? Like there's still that moment where she had got this bracelet since I had seen her last. Someone made it for her and it says like Sebastian and it's got little letters on it, right? And like as she's like talking about it, you know, you can see like her eyes like start to tear up or whatever. I mean, it's just, I don't know, like it's fucking heartbreaking. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
mean,
she's truly a roller coaster of emotions, right? No way to really say that, you know?
well, I've said that before, just like you stated. It's an emotional roller coaster, and there's ups and downs, there's lefts and rights, and you know, it,
I'm crying.
it's hard. She's a strong woman. She's going to be strong because she has Sebastian that we are looking for. Our son is out there somewhere. We're going to find him, and she is a strong woman. You know, it's going to take a lot more for a few hurtful words to try to get her down. Good luck. Because at the end, before you can get to her, you got to go through me.
Carla, you don't have to super chat to ask a question, hon. I'm looking at the chat, but thank you. Chris, this person, Carla Sparks, says, "Hey Chris, you want the hard questions. Where were you on February 25th, Sunday, from awake to bedtime? Thank you. Just everyone is curious."
Everybody can be curious. I was in Memphis. Well, actually, I was in South Haven or Horn Lake, Mississippi on February 25th, which would have been a Sunday.
And Gold Dust, thank you for a super chat. Chris and Katie,
Oh
we all
my
wish.
God.
I'm going to rewind that for a second. That's an interesting little little swap, little change up again.
Everybody can be curious. I was in Memphis. Well,
On February 25th, but thank you. Chris, this person, Carla Sparks, says, "Hey Chris, you want the hard questions. Where were you on February 25th, Sunday, from awake to bedtime? Thank you. Just everyone is curious."
everybody can be curious. I was in Memphis. Well, actually, I was in South Haven or Horn Lake, Mississippi on February 25th, which would have been a Sunday.
And it's kind of interesting because it does sound like he was in Memphis on Sunday, but then it sounded like he was in Nashville on Sunday. And I heard on a live earlier a very different story, and I am still trying to source it, about being not at, we heard, what was it called? The Shriners Hospital. I'm hoping, and I've been asking and asking and asking, does anybody have that clip? It was a phone call that people put a piece of it out, and where he had said that he was at Shriners. So I'm going to note this for myself because that's interesting, how he talks about the 25th in a very different way at different times, including what he said on Smiley's Story World. I'll play that in a second. I'm going to pull that up. This is the 1 hour, 44 minute, and 49 second mark.
And Gold Dust, thank you for a super chat. Chris and Katie,
Oh
we all
my
wish.
God.
Actually, that wasn't the timestamp. Hold on.
Everybody can be curious. I was.
Where were you on February 25th, Sunday, from awake to bedtime? Thank you.
1
Just
hour,
everyone is
44
curious.
minutes.
Everybody can be curious. I was in Memphis. Well, actually, I was in South Haven or Horn Lake, Mississippi on February 25th, which would have been a Sunday.
And Gold Dust, thank you for a super chat. Chris and Katie,
Oh
we all
my
wish
God.
things were different. Wish we could help change this craziness for your family. Thank you, ma'am.
But she's not family, but she felt compelled to say thank you. Interesting again.
Well, thank you. We wished it would change quickly.
I don't think I
Once
should.
Sebastian comes home, it'll be, thank God it'll be over with. And then, unfortunately, I think a lot of these creators are going to lose content.
Right. I don't think I should ask you those questions.
I'll ask it.
Okay.
He's always tried to flip it around to make people think that, you know, he knows Sebastian is okay after he says all these weird things, right?
I think a lot of these creators are going to lose content.
Right. I don't think I should ask you those questions.
I'll ask it.
What
Okay.
question?
He ain't never shied away from them, so
No,
I'm
he
not going
hasn't.
to shy away from asking him. What do you think of BHB's tattoo? I think the question was actually, what do you think of BHB's horrid tattoo?
If I was Betty, I would have probably read Tennessee state statute laws, because it's actually having an order of protection.
God.
Actually against the law to have that tattoo put on her body. Might be one of something she should have probably reviewed.
Damn. You know, that's crazy too, because we've all been asking for the longest time. Is there not some sort of legality with that in her currents? It's not, you know, like probably if I wanted to go get something like that, okay, but in her situation, is there not sort of like some legality issue with that? So that's good to know.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
By the way, obviously there's no legality in putting a name, just a name. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is nonsense. And I wanted to just mention exactly what Mama 3 said. He said Memphis, then to South Haven, then to Horn Lake. And I've noticed that a few times. It's very interesting.
and I'm saying this with all due respect. I think before you,
And typically I would just not even listen to these parts. And maybe if I get bored, I'd go back and listen start to finish if I have to drive back north, you know, and I'm stuck in the car for hours. But normally this is the stuff that I look at as noise, and I just skim over it. And I try to just get to the questions that are directly related to Sebastian, or what I feel are more related to Sebastian.
considered getting a tattoo of our son on your body, I definitely would have gotten my legal affairs wrapped up first before I would have proceeded with that. You know, but ugliness and spitefulness and all this is, I mean, is what it is. You know, I mean, from what I understand, she got one and some family member got one, and you know, it's great. Katie got a tattoo. I'm not going to take it away from people.
Oh my God.
But I would just suggest that she should have probably read up on it first and foremost.
Miss Upper Thigh said, I want to make sure that Katie knows that us mamas see her and support her and wish we could make this better. And they said, Chris, thank you for protecting your family. I admire that a lot.
I haven't seen her at all, so I don't know. I don't know about that. You don't speak for this mom. But yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. He's not you can tell. Does this man seem afraid? Because doesn't a PO or a restraining order go both ways? That's what it's. I mean, I thought Megan Fox did a really good breakdown of it. It was very long, so of course I had to skip around to the actual, you know, the actual ROs. But then it was very interesting to hear the laws around them. And whenever they talk about it, it's just ridiculous to me. Ridiculous. This man is not. I mean, so much of this has always been intimidating, scare you off, be very afraid if you're searching, be very careful if you're looking. You know, it's always like that. Always like that about everything. Just let us do it. Let me handle it. My people handle it. Stop injecting yourself. You're not wanted. You weren't asked to come in. It's ridiculous.
Thank you. And got to have a strong woman right behind me just as well. Well, really beside me, not behind me, but you know.
And so we're going to skip over here where they're going to go into Sebastian. They're going to start talking about him again at 1:48:17. So in about 45 seconds. Let's see who brings Sebastian up this time.
This ain't
You know
that
that's
type
gonna
of
cause
show.
Well, you never know. Apparently it's going to hurt people. He's a feminist. No. Sorry.
Ann asked a question. Can we raise funds to go directly to the GPR company or any company whose services are needed?
I'll have to let me get some more information on that. And I will get back to Clue, and then she'll be able to put that out. I don't want to speak on something I don't know anything about right now at this moment. I don't know how that would work.
What was that question?
He's a feminist. No, sorry.
Ann asked a question. Can we raise funds to go directly to the GPR company or any company whose services are needed?
So they're asking if they could raise funds to go to any company where services could be needed for what? Searching and things like that? They've had over a year to do that. And now we're coming back to get more money. But there's no means, motives, or opportunities. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I'll have to let me get some more information on that. And I will get back to Clue, and then she'll be able to put that out. I don't want to.
The mom in me just gets, it just gets me very frustrated when I see the money. And this young man is
Speak on something I don't know anything about right now at this moment. I don't know how that would work.
just disturbing.
Oh yeah. Number one Gypsy, thank you for the super chat. She asked, Can I ask about the picture of Sebastian in the brown shirt and jacket at Boot Barn? Is it old? He looks older. Seth mentioned creating age progression photo. He does look a little older.
That photo. Well, the funny thing is that photo was taken by Seth because that was a picture he sent us showing the boots that Sebastian picked out at Boot Barn. I believe it's the gray boots with the red laces.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't remember exactly when it was taken, but it was a fairly newer picture.
Well, he said he had them 2 months before he went.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
American Justice has a question. Is about Katie's tattoo, and is that in relation to Sebastian? Well, it says in memory of Sebastian, but so I'll ask it the way it's asked, right? Is Katie's tattoo in memory of Sebastian?
It's for Sebastian. I wouldn't say it's in memory of. I mean, I don't know in a way. I don't know if that's like a hit, as in like he's passed on or what, but the tattoo is her love of Sebastian. It's also a symbol of hope, and it also has the cross in it. So
I don't get anything from that tattoo like most people.
So I could just replay that real quick, and then I'm going to go to the next time they talk about Sebastian. But isn't it interesting how he answers it? Didn't he just try to tell us about how Sebastian will be coming home and then this will be over and people won't be able to make money anymore? Basically, everybody's going to eat crow. But his initial reaction is not to say, of course it's for Sebastian. We're going to find him. Nothing like that. Never is, right?
And like he's passed on or what, but the tattoo is her love of Sebastian. It's also a symbol of hope, and it also has the cross in it. So
I don't get anything from that tattoo like most people. They got to put a spin on everything.
Well, I mean, it's a mom's love for her son. I mean, it's his favorite color. It's a heart, and it has a cross on it.
I just did the same thing.
She loves her son.
Absolutely itty bitty, teeny tiny. Look like my eyeliner, because I was trying to find ways to have people ask me about Sebastian. So I started wearing this neon green eyeliner. It was silly. But you know how many people asked me about why I was wearing this green neon eyeliner? A lot. A lot of people asked me. A lot.
With baby Clue. Like literally just got matching heart tattoos. So whatever. I turned it down yesterday. Okay, Cubs 23 says, Chris, prayers and hugs for you, Katie, Sebastian, and your family, sharing and keeping Sebastian's name and story alive out there is CA.
I think she meant out here in California.
Oh, okay. I got
I
you.
think that's what that means. If it's not, I'm sorry, but I'm assuming that. And
Did he just say out here in California or out there in California?
CA.
I think she meant out here in California.
Out here in California? That's weird.
Oh, okay. I got
I
you.
think that's what that means. If it's not, I'm sorry, but I'm assuming that. And thank you so much.
Let me see if I can.
Sebastian did like parts of California.
And I don't know if she got
Love
to
SeaWorld.
Yeah, we I don't know if she got to Joanne's or not, but Joanne said prayers to you, Chris, and Katie, and Sebastian. So
Thank you so much.
let's see. Pink Glitter asked, was there a city or town that Sebastian talked about wanting to go to? Any place people in that area can look? So, I think, is there any specific area that he ever mentioned that would be of interest for people to look?
Not that I would recall, to be honest with you.
Another one.
He never ever would state like a designated area. To be honest with you, I just not. So I guess no would be that answer.
Okay. Oh, let's see.
I was going to point out what Mike was nice enough to reference in chat. So there was a couple of things that were said in memory. Remember him out there, far from here. And real quick, I'll come right back to this. I just wanted to play something very quick that goes with what we were talking about a little while ago that I was referencing from an early interview from Smiley's Story World. This is just a 2-second clip, but I found it to be really odd in the manner that Chris Proudfoot was discussing the time frame that he can speak on and the time frame Katie can speak on that weekend. Remember when he just said 3 different places for the answer of where he was on the 25th? So it's in reference to the 25th and the 26th. And this was during the interview on Smiley's Story World on March 20th, 2024. It's right after he gives his wife permission to speak. And it is at 1 hour, 37 minutes and 16 seconds. And I will put the link in chat for anybody that may want to, go hop around the transcript at another time or right now, if you like.
For you, I'm just wondering, why is Chris always speaking for you?
Fire away, babe. Go ahead.
If you're not there, Chris, hold on. If you're not there, people want to know this. If you're not there, how can you answer all the questions?
So, if you notice, there's certain questions that you're asking I'm not saying anything about.
I know.
So as soon as you start talking about Sunday,
yeah. Okay. So
I don't say nothing. Saturday, I don't say nothing. But anything after that, from the 6th, from midnight to 6,
okay,
being on the phone with her prior to, yeah. I can answer those questions.
Okay.
And just so I've told somebody this before. My wife has popped off to somebody on Facebook about it. As nasty as some folks have been, my job as a husband is to protect my wife, my kids at all costs. And I will stand in front of them, beside them, wherever they want to be, and I take all the hard hits. I'm tired of people dragging her through the mud. I'm tired of seeing the stuff that they say about her. Say it to me. I'm okay with it. Say it to me. Leave them alone. Be nice, be respectful, be courteous, and think about a woman whose heart's broken because her son is missing. If everybody would just take a step back for 1 second, go look at your kids and realize you got a kid. Your kid's at your house right now that you can walk up to. They may be in the bed sleeping, but you can walk up to them, give them big old hugs and kisses, tell them good night, and enjoy the moments. right now, there's 3 parents in this world. Well, more than 3, but right now for this situation, there's 3 parents that cannot do that.
So I found that very unsettling for a few reasons. One, I found it interesting how he could not speak on anything about his whereabouts for Saturday or Sunday, but he could talk about a phone call for a few hours and then anything after midnight into the 26th, which is why I believed he was closer to the actual area. And I believe the earlier conversations that had been had. And of course, immediately, as we know, lots of things were deleted, edited, people got blocked, and a whole narrative formed that was anew around the time that all of these YouTubers came around March 20th is when I saw a change. The first change I saw deploy was around the Duchess interview. And then the time frame of this interview was another big pivotal change to the story and deleting, erasing, and things like that. And I wanted to say he also, makes a really unsettling giggly giggle after he talks about that weekend and then goes into talking about how, we have children we can go check on in the bed kind of thing, as you all just heard. So I just wanted to play that real quick because I think there is a lot of things in some of these earlier interviews that when you look back on them and then you listen to these interviews, it might be helpful. It may not, but it may.
On Tony saying he's having regular discussions with law enforcement.
Okay. Sorry, I don't. I don't really care what Tony does. It's none of my business. He's not. I don't know. He's a spokesperson for Seth. That's where he can stay.
Is that interesting how he's like,
Fair
that's
enough.
where he can stay? He talked very odd about Tony back on the interview with Clue, Elevated Truth, all of them. And there was only 2 long interviews in May that Cluminati had on their channel that Chris Proudfoot had come on. And they're very, very interesting. They're very long, but there's a lot of interesting things and interesting conversations around it.
I agree with that person. Tony doesn't do anything important.
Oh, but you do. Okay. Interesting. She's so important. So let's see what else has been said about Sebastian. Let me see when the next timestamp for Sebastian being brought up is, because we're at 1 hour, 53 minutes now.
Some Kiki loves you said, Chris, why do you think damn it, this thing's scrolling too fast. Why do you think the LE didn't stop the construction trucks that day and why they didn't empty out your house?
I also want to add, we can go back and listen to the dispatcher audio where you can hear the timestamp of them actually saying they're going over to the construction to what? Have them be aware and shut down, right? Don't quote me verbatim, but I think we've heard it enough that we know. So this claim that it was never shut down, it's just deploy the search area all in that 10 miles, like Mike Damon said, I think.
Didn't empty out the what now?
Your house? I don't know what that means, but
as far as the construction stuff goes, that's well beyond. I don't have the authority to stop the construction. I think that is something that law enforcement has to talk to the developer, and the developer I don't think has to stop the construction unless he is forced to by.
Stopping construction now. Now, this was today. We're talking about it today.
A warrant, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the answer. But as far as our house goes, I mean, our house was searched over 10 times from various groups, and I'm talking anything and everything underneath the house in the attic. Infrared,
various groups. I don't think groups are the same as Ellie. I don't really care about groups if he's the one that selects them, because he picked this group. He picked his investigators, his searchers. And I just think it's really odd when he talks like that. You know, if your child's missing, your stepson's missing, a loved one's missing, or somebody you're helping and you're there. He had time, he said, a half an hour after arriving to go talk to law enforcement, right? He didn't have time to go make sure that nothing was going on in construction. Nothing, you know, I mean, you wouldn't be paying attention if that was something you were concerned with at the time. I mean, you can just tell so much of this is just, that's why I get nauseated listening to it. And I know we want to hear what they're saying, but with this darn fair use, you know, you got to put your 2 cents in too. So I'm sorry, guys, that I keep blabbering.
Heat sources, I mean, you name it, they searched. And everything was open to law enforcement. Not one thing has ever been said no. Everything has been opened.
That is the one thing I wish that people just knew how, like, cooperative you guys were, right? Like, you can always get the feeling when, like, people are, like, trying to hide something or whatever, and you don't, like, you two, there's never, like, a stop. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to me. Also, mods, if anyone's in here being an ass, just fucking block them. You don't got to fucking time them out. Just get rid of them.
Oh my God.
All right, so let's
This is
see.
a zero fucktard zone, okay? So just get the fuck rid of them for real.
So anybody that's asking questions, I guess, that are not approved, I mean, because that's what they did from the get-go. As soon as they changed narratives and people were asking questions about what they saw with their own eyes on live streams with people the day before or that morning, you're blocked. And, you know, this is what they do. So we're at 1 hour, 55 minutes. Sebastian seems to be brought up again 10 minutes later. Let's see who brings him up.
It's 50-50. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. If people have information that they know is false and they can't correct it, sure, go ahead and correct it.
Oh, you know what? This might actually be helpful. I skipped over something that might actually not be noise. Okay, let's just go back 5 minutes.
You with me? Come forward, show your. And I mean, if some young lady got drunk at a bar and says she went on a date with me, come forward, show your face, show your name.
That's my thing. Like, people who bring stuff to YouTube like that, they're typically like, they want that interview, they want that talk, right? But everything they say, and not to mention that started with Thelma or Clutch Them Nuts, and quite frankly, he also fabricated a ad where your house was for sale. So, I mean, at some point, you got to consider the source.
Yeah.
That's really appropriate and nice to
question,
talk about
it's
Justin Clutch Them Pearls, right? With all the advocacy that he has done and how much attention he's brought to Sebastian online, whether or not, you know, some of the things are factual, we don't know. But in order to keep Sebastian's name out there and hypothesize and give neighbors and locals or people that may know them, because they bounced around so much, we have to remember that they moved a lot. And 2020, a lot of places we were sheltering in place and stuff, right? So you want the public to know about Sebastian and to talk to each other. These people have never wanted us all talking together at all. Whoa. That was a really scary thunder. We're in tornado watches, guys. So I'm going to go check the radar real quick. But yeah, they've never wanted us all talking. And I just found that to be unsettling that here we go again.
It's moved. So yeah, it's moving fast, but it is a good question. They asked about the, does correcting the misinformation that gets put out help, or do you wish people would just stop with it altogether? Stop trying to correct it and just stop addressing it.
Weather team.
It's
Lightning has been
50-50. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. If people have information that they know is false and they can't correct it, sure, go ahead and correct it. I'm kind of torn. I don't really know.
Oh my God.
You know, keeping Sebastian's name out there, and notice I said
I think it's interesting if people have information that they know is false, and I can speak on this. On December 20th, when he went on Elevated Truth podcast, every one of them could see the StreamYards. They all know that my video of myself, I was not trying to get on that show. I wasn't trying to get in the back chat. When he said momming it up, when they insinuated that I was pretending to be Chris Proudfoot and that I'm a suspect, this is what they've done for months with me. I don't care. It doesn't scare me. It's ridiculous. But I just wanted to say, if he really cared about information and all of that, he would have gotten involved and cleared it up. Just like in September, the day I was moving to Tennessee, and I went onto that one panel, and I was muted and all that stuff. That was ridiculous because they said, call TVI on me, and made up all this nonsense. He didn't care that it was all made up, and he knew it was. He didn't call that out, and he won't do it with anyone. So in my opinion, I speak for what I have experienced, and it has been a complete disaster to ensure that you're intimidated, you don't discuss the case, and you don't clear up misinformation. You don't care about the facts at all. In fact, you want people to do nothing but drama and distract from your child, so much so that your fixers are constantly bringing up my children. Just saying. So I can speak as my personal opinion that this is a bunch of baloney. Not that we don't already insinuate and think that hypothetically, that's our gut feeling anyway. But yeah. Whew. Fair use stinks.
I'm
But
kind of torn. I don't really know.
it's nice to vent sometimes.
You know, keeping Sebastian's name out there, and notice I said Sebastian's name, not mine, Katie's, and Seth, and anybody else's. If you keep Sebastian's name out there, that's awesome. But lately, from what I've been hearing and seeing, and it's not about Sebastian.
Oh, I agree, Mike. There's never anything that useful. That's why I do a lot of skipping around and searching the transcripts, especially because we're so far in, right? But I mean, this is ridiculous because, like he says, you can keep Sebastian, but don't talk about me. Don't talk about Seth. Don't talk about this one. Don't talk about that one. So that's where everybody should focus, in my opinion. Whatever sets these people off for the last year. What are they so worried about?
Sebastian's name out there, that's awesome. But lately, from what I've been hearing and seeing, and it's not about Sebastian.
Oh my God.
It's about, which I think is funny. I think you call her Butterhead.
Butterhead.
Or cellulitis crater face or some shit.
No, crater face is Betty.
Well, now her name
Oh,
is
okay.
now her name is Louise.
Louise, yeah.
Louise,
Louise, sorry, Louise.
You've got all these
That's another creator, allegedly, of Brittany J. And that's so appropriate to talk about these channels that have been the only people raising awareness. A missing child doesn't get hardly any attention. And these people have dedicated their time and their energy, whether you like their statements or not. They always say nothing is factual. You are, innocent until proven guilty. It's just absurd. And this is how they talk on a live stream. Imagine what they say off the air. Just imagine.
creators out there that do nothing but just go at each other, and they're causing a bunch of drama. And it's like, I don't understand what that does for any cases. And to be true crime, the drama is not part of true crime, I don't believe.
Oh my
Should
God.
be facts. Things that can be proven, not the rest of it. I just,
Oh my God.
whatever.
Yeah. I mean, no, I don't think. You mean April 16th, Buckeye? No, I don't think she has to be there on April 16th anymore. Right?
Well,
Or-
okay. So the summons was issued or signed on March 25th. It was served today for that court hearing on April 16th. We still have to go because we were summoned. However, do I know if that court case will go forward? Probably not, because she has the appeal going to the appellate court. I think that has to be determined first before Sumner County would move forward with a criminal case.
All right, we're going to skip over this because this is
so to speak.
a
So
bunch of
I'm
names.
willing to bet that's going to be pushed farther down the line until we get in front of the appellate court.
And this question, sorry, full deck. She's always clowning around. She said, "Does Katie want to throat punch Tony as much as I do?" No reply necessary. Just saying, Katie and Chris always in. Just saying, Sebastian, Katie, and Chris always in my thoughts.
I'm pretty sure you have a very imaginative mind. I'll let you figure that one out. It'd be Mick, America's Most Wanted, whatever, St. Jude, whoever. Do a national like fundraising online thing, and all proceeds go directly to the charity that you so choose, in honor of not just Sebastian, but for the children of the state of the creator. I think that would be something that could.
So again, not about Sebastian. He's saying to do fundraisers in honor, and yeah,
Be a
always.
huge success if there was a way to, I don't know, put it together, I guess.
2 hours, 20 minutes. He talked about this all the way back in May, if you remember. He also talked about that all the way back then, how he would love to get all the creators together to do something positive, and went into this whole explanation of how they could do good, and same type of thing he's still saying.
I mean, I know you've talked about that before. Hell, I think probably about the same time last year, if not maybe a little later. But I remember you coming up here and talking about something like that. And I think it's a great idea. I know we're planning to do a Dick Mick fundraiser on, what is it, May 25th, National Missing Children's Day.
Okay, so then on 5 minutes later, it looks like Sebastian comes up again. Let's see if it's authentic or what it is.
Me and Katie on Monday, and then they filmed Seth on Tuesday.
Oh, we heard this already.
What I understand, it was a very successful all the way around, all three parents. So there's no drama. It is factual based around all three parents. Trying to get Sebastian's face, name, his case out there so that we can get this more nationwide, not just a local or hit or miss. So that's a great thing. I do think it's supposed to air sometime the end of April.
Right, so then about 20 minutes later, because we already listened to this, is when they bring Sebastian up again at 1 hour, 48 minutes, 41 seconds. This is 1:25. So let's see what brings Sebastian up here.
I don't know anything about right now at this moment. I don't know how that would work.
Oh yeah. Number one Gypsy, thank you for the super chat. She asked, Can I ask about the picture of Sebastian in the brown shirt and jacket at Boot Barn? Is it old?
We heard that too before. Okay. Let's see. 1 hour 49.
It's for Sebastian. I wouldn't say
That
it's a
too.
memory
We
of.
heard
I
about
mean,
that.
I don't know in a way. I don't know if that's like a hit, as in like he's passed on, or I'm kind of torn. I don't really know.
Oh my God!
You know, keeping Sebastian's name out there, and notice I said Sebastian's name, not mine, Katie's, and Seth, and anybody else's. If you keep Sebastian's name out there, that's awesome. But lately, from what I've been hearing and seeing, and it's not about Sebastian.
Oh my God!
It's about, which I think is funny. I think you call her Butterhead.
Butterhead.
Or cellulitis, crater face, or some
We
shit.
heard that already.
No,
What the
Crater
heck?
Face is Betty.
Well, now her name
Oh,
is
okay.
now her name is Louise.
Louise, yeah.
Louise, okay.
Louise,
So
sorry,
you-
Louise.
You've got all these creators out.
Searches for Sebastian.
No. Nope.
Any plans of any organized ones? I know, you know, I heard Dolly specifically talking about, you know, organized searches. Is there any plans of any organized ones? Are you taking part in any of that, or anything to say about that?
If there's an organization that wants to spearhead a search like that, that has the ability to have medical staff available, things like that, because there's a lot of risk involved. If you haven't been in this area, the terrain is very treacherous. It's not a flat plain. There are hills and mountains that go straight vertical. There are drops, there's caves, there's depressions, there's valleys, there's ridges. If somebody was to, an organization that specializes in things like that, if they were to do it, sure, we would volunteer and we would be very helpful in that. But as far as me putting out there, like, here's a sign up sheet, no, I'm not doing that. I can't. I work, Katie works.
Remember, this is a different explanation. He already gave one before. This is a different one.
And there's like I said, there's a lot of legal issues with doing things like that. Plus, you know, private property around here is just that. It's private. You have to ask permission to get on it. That is things that need to kind of be done ahead of time and worked out with the landowners before you just start traipsing through their property.
I've seen EquiSearch brought up in here a couple of times. Have y'all reached out to them?
Yes, we've actually worked hand in hand with, I think her name is Twyla, if I say it correctly.
Yeah.
So we heard this
We've worked with
before.
her and her team.
This is 22713. And that's now we're not going to hear Sebastian brought back up till 3 hours, 8 minutes, and 55 seconds. So that's 38, almost 39 minutes later is the next time Sebastian's brought up.
Dressed, okay? I'm trying to be very polite. She got dressed and she came to court. She made it awesome.
I'll give you that one. And Seth said at one time he got Sebastian a second phone, but claims he didn't give it to him yet.
Oh my God.
I don't know anything about it. Can't answer that one.
Oh my God.
I just want to know if she said anything about like when we all exited the courtroom.
So you wouldn't ask about that, want to know about that if your child's missing? I'm just saying. You're not going to ask, did you give them an extra phone? Did they have any way to get to the internet? We don't know. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. I don't know anything about that.
Is all. I'm going to have to watch it. Shelby Lynn says, Chris and Katie, can you please hit the thumbs up? It really helps the algorithm. That's a dig it, Butter.
Would everybody in the chat please hit the thumbs up? It helps with our algorithm to get the new channel out there to the nation. Helps us get recognized.
I don't even know what to say. And that is something that doesn't happen often for me these days.
See how good that was? We need to clip that.
Oh my gosh.
Brianna says, Ryan Hall.
This is all funny to them. This is all exciting. He's always acted like so disturbed by the YouTube and the popularity. Because don't forget, he referenced this with Heather Cohen, that earlier private investigator. Popularity he feels from doing these is just...
Paul was talking about tornadoes in Hendersonville and Clarksville both. You guys all good. I'm not in Hendersonville.
So where we live, we actually have kind of like two mountains that kind of surround us. I mean, I'm not saying no tornado would never come through here, but I would say for the most part, we're fairly
Fairly covered.
Apparently, there was one
Besides,
near.
I got a Morkie that's gonna take down that tornado.
Apparently, there was one nearby because Crabtree started blowing me up a while ago, and he sent me a movie of his drone recording a tornado. I haven't had a chance to watch it.
Oh. You missed his impression of BJ. It was quite good.
Damn.
Yeah, you'll have to go back and listen.
All right, I'll do that.
Oh my God. He said it helps get our content out to the nation. Like, that's such a better way to say that.
Jay is asking, what are the Morkies' names?
We have Valentine and Cupid.
And they're adorable.
And V and Q for short.
Lala said, don't worry, Bobby Binoculars will see it first, Chris. Excuse me, Christ.
I compel thee.
That'll be clipped amongst other things.
You know what? I should just get a picture of me doing that with my hand up saying I compel thee. Put it on a piece of paper and send it to Betty for her emotion from Queen's attorney.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this. Do not send.
He's afraid of her, right? They all have restraining orders against her. And this is applicable and acceptable.
Send me a picture if you do that, because I swear to God, the last picture that you sent me that I've never shown on here, I literally almost peed. I'm not kidding. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know exactly which one you're talking about. They're sitting downstairs in my bar, by the way.
Dead. Literally dead. Nikki said, where is it? Sending positive vibes.
Can you imagine saying those things?
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Chris.
Sending photos.
Cletus, Hazel Eyes says, thank you, Clue, Cletus, and Chris.
And she likes to say murdering and dead all the time. How disgusting and disturbing and inconsiderate.
And Katie. Oh, that's Clue, Cletus, Chris, Katie.
And let's not forget that he's sending pictures and joking, and obviously this is a big skit to them. This is so we're almost done, thank goodness, because this is so nauseating. I can't wait to see your next video, Mike. I need a respite from listening to this guy. All of them.
I send many thoughts and prayers. And hello, spring, never appreciated, but always expected. Big Bird says, please let Chris know New Hampshire is praying for Sebastian. I know firsthand how painful it is as someone close to the Harmony Montgomery search.
Wow. Thank you.
Lord, I heard that truck. I thought that was a tornado. You know how they whistle?
Yeah.
Christ has spoken.
Annie is okay. Said a question for Chris. Can he suggest where we need to search for Sebastian?
My answer is going to be everywhere.
This is 3 hours, 13 minutes in. Where may we search for Sebastian?
Can he suggest where we need to search for Sebastian?
My answer is going to be everywhere, no matter where. Realistically, I mean, within 5 miles of my house, I would like to say it's been searched very thoroughly. But I mean, here we are. And yeah, I'm going to drop a bombshell for you. Ready for this one? Yes, it's been 13 months since Katie and Seth have seen Sebastian. It's been 14 months since I have seen Sebastian. So he could be anywhere.
And he's clapping his hands. And again, the 5 miles, so 5 to 10 miles. Interesting again with the 10 miles, right?
But I mean, here we are. And yeah, I'm going to drop a bombshell for you. Ready for this one? Yes, it's been 13 months since Katie and Seth have seen Sebastian. It's been 14 months since I have seen Sebastian. So he could be anywhere.
Clapping the hands.
Yep. Uh-oh.
What?
Butter just canceled her live for tonight. She must be grieving their day. I would say the best thing that people can do is literally go to businesses, ask them, can you put the flyer up? Carry them in your car. You know what I mean?
Katie and I both carry stacks of them in our car and my truck, and constantly, even in our work vehicles, where we see places that don't have them, we know that they had them before. They take them down just because after a while, they don't hear anything, so they assume, he's been found or nothing's come of it, so they take the poster down. So
Yeah.
we carry more, and we ask him, hey, do you mind if we put this back up? He hasn't been found, and things of that nature. And I'm sure Seth does the same thing. I mean, from what I heard, I have not seen, but from what I have heard, he does try to, put some stuff out there.
Right. Sidney Kane says, please tell Chris that he and Katie have been nothing but pure class throughout all this. And I'm so, I'm so envious of Katie's gorgeous hair, sending all the love and light continuously. Well, I'm just going to let you know. The hair thing, that's because she uses the gloss.
Isn't it that shine thing that you were telling her about?
Yes, that she tried, and might I add, likes a lot. So
yeah, she uses it like in the shower daily, I think.
Yep.
All right.
Thank
When's
you,
the
Kane.
next time? Sometimes the most intriguing is hours in, when they're tired and distracted or slurring or whatever,
Not going to ask him anything about,
in my opinion.
Sean, guys, just because.
No, they ask. It's okay, just ask it.
Well, that person wanted to know, has Sean always been this spiteful and, for the lack of a better word, weird?
Appreciate the question. That kind of goes back to being a personal family thing. Seth is a grieving father. So when parents grieve, they grieve in their own ways. All we can do is be supportive. He's hurting, just like Katie, just like myself. He's got to find a way to handle his grief, and that is something that's between him and his maker. It's the best answer I can give you on that.
And what kind of answer is that? We all know what that insinuates in 3 different directions. It's ridiculous. Speaking again for Seth, absolutely ridiculous. The timestamp, let's see.
It's the best answer I can give you on that.
When did this start?
Seth is a grieving father.
3 hours, 17 minutes. Grieving. They're all grieving. Seth is going to speak for himself. He does speak for himself. But he's putting this out there. This is what he's always done. He always leaves it open to different.
So when parents grieve, they grieve in their own ways. All we can do is be supportive. He's hurting, just like Katie, just like myself.
and he's got to find a way to handle his grief, and that is something that's between him and his maker. It's the best answer I can give you on that.
Isn't that ridiculous? We all hear what he's saying and what he's implying. This is the same crap that they did in the beginning.
There you go.
See something, say something. Mentioned this, and I remember this being brought up once before, or a few times before, and I thought it had been discussed. But anyway,
Exactly, Mike. You can't talk about his family. You can't talk about Bower stocks, their property, anything close to that. The 5,000. Exactly, Mike Damon. He is not grieving. He's never implied that. In fact, he wants us to stop saying that and putting that out there, no matter statistically. Why? Because we all know that he is searching desperately with every ounce of hope possible to find his son alive, right? He's not out there saying, I'm grieving, I'm grieving. He's searching. He's frantically searching and begging for people to search, share his information, get his name out there. He just put a long list up of all the different states and resources to call information in. And this man constantly comes on and makes these implications and speaks for him.
They said suggest to
And like
Chris
you
to get
said,
in
when
touch
you
with.
put the innocent parent in with them, right? That's what it seems like, right? Let's bring the innocent parent that was on camera at work, had no red flags, that people went out and completely lied about in the beginning in ways that are unimaginable to me to this day.
Corporate office of Domino's and ask if they can glue a flyer to the top of each pizza box.
Oh, that's a good idea. Didn't know that. I mean, making a note of that.
Shit, it went by me. There's somebody.
Let's
Here
see
it
the
is.
next time. Say Sebastian.
Stella Moore wanted me to ask you if you have thought of using coffee cups with Sebastian on them and hand them out in restaurants or hand them to restaurants.
You and Katie, Chris, and of course Sebastian has all my prayers. Yes, psycho cunts do pray too.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And Vivian P wants to know, did Seth ever come into the house when picking up Sebastian?
Yes.
I don't see. Oh, Dolly. BHB was talking about my mom today. She wants war. She's got no limits. I don't, whatever.
The Five Canes asked, have y'all thought about wrapping your vehicles?
Limits with what they talk about.
We actually had magnets and things put on our vehicles, but you have to consider that does make you a target.
Does not.
You have to weigh safety over certain things at some point.
Oh my gosh. With how much they've changed the descriptions. Sorry, they have all changed how they look. Nobody looks the same as they look online. And having Sebastian's flyers is going to make you a target for safety. Is this really happening right now? Good. We're wrapping up soon because this is.
You have to weigh safety over certain things at some point.
For certain things. A certain thing.
I'm not willing to jeopardize our safety. Please understand. I mean,
I can't imagine even being able to live without one of my children, okay? And he's not willing to jeopardize his safety. What about the mom? What about a mom? Would a mom be willing to jeopardize anything and everything to try to find their child? Because I don't know how you live without knowing where your child is. It's like a piece of your heart is gone. Just my fear of my daughter eloping, and the little bit that we have had her take off, and we were frantic for those 10 minutes when she took off on her grandma, because people didn't understand what I kept telling them about the eloping, because she's a trickster, right? As soon as she's one of those children with autism, and she doesn't understand, and she has very little beginning communicative speech. Thank God she's getting some communicative speech. When I got that phone call, I will never in my life forget that. I will never forget that, ever. So I can't imagine that going on and 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 on, and then hearing all of this shit. Pardon my language.
There's other things that we have done. We've had magnets made. We've gotten involved with the billboards, yard signs. We've had them posted everywhere from Florida all the way up into Canada.
The yard signs, which I can show you, they have one yard sign that is still crooked. It was more crooked the day of the vigil than it was when I went through there, because I have to drive by that road all the time. So I drove down in there, and I live streamed the whole time, so they can't say that you're stalking. But of course, they made the video saying I was stalking. I didn't stalk anybody. I said a prayer for Sebastian, because I believe in holy connections, and I believe, we all have a belief, and I have a belief in Jesus. Some people have a belief in Buddha and the universe, and and that's what I did. And I saw a crooked sign, only one crooked yard sign, and it was crooked the day of the vigil a couple weeks ago. And he's talking about yard signs.
I'm all the way out as far as California. I think we even had a couple got made, sent to Hawaii. But I mean, wrapping a vehicle, that is costly, and like I said, I'm not going to jeopardize our safety.
And I assume when you're saying jeopardizing your safety, it's because of all the people with very hateful thoughts that you would be putting a target
not
on
just
yourself.
hateful thoughts, but yeah, I mean, you make yourself a target, but I'm not necessarily hatefulness, but I don't want us being followed 24/7, taking pictures like some folks have done. And I've said this before, we are a pro Second Amendment state.
Oh, I'm muted. I'm sorry. I was just saying, if they're not afraid, in my opinion, we know that. Just like Betty, right? They're afraid of Betty. They're afraid. They don't have dark tinted windows. They're not legal. You can see these people. You'd see who's driving. So having banners and all that isn't going to make you a target. It's going to spread awareness of the child, right? You see the ads. If somebody's stalking you and following you, law enforcement would handle that. You have dash cams, right? I mean, give me a break. The excuses are ridiculous, and people believe this.
I exercise my Second Amendment. I don't believe in violence, but there's no reason it has to get to that point. And wrapping a vehicle, just like it says, makes you a target.
It does not make you a target to have Sebastian Rogers flyer and thing on your vehicles. I am telling you, it doesn't make you a target to wear his sweatshirts, to share his flyers. This should not even be something that should be said other than to intimidate, in my opinion. It's ridiculous and for pity. And also, before this, he was highlighting everything far away, right, with the banners. Of course, nothing local. We know he's not in Hawaii. I mean, like Mike Damon just said, it's so ridiculous.
No point in it.
There's no point in it.
I exercise my Second Amendment. I don't believe in violence, but there's no reason it has to get to that point. And wrapping a vehicle, just like it says, makes you a target. No point in it.
No point in it.
Let's see. God, this is flying.
Dolly, I'm just going to say that out loud. I would eat her ass if I were you, but not
No point in it, right? Very final, isn't it, when he talks?
physically or literally. You might lose like feeling in your lips or something. I don't know.
RLA wants to know, said, can Chris confirm that either he or Katie were home during pickups or drop-offs? I'm assuming they're talking about when Seth would pick him up or drop him off. Were y'all always home?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes, not every time.
Okay.
I'll tell you another thing.
Most
sorry.
of the time, yes, we were, though. I'm sorry.
No, I talked over you. One thing that I told, I think it was Layla Santinello's mom, I think. I don't know. I talked to her one time with Crabtree.
Holland Snap's mom.
Holland Snap, that's right.
Yeah.
If you like give flyers to like the Amazon drivers, right? Because in the community, right, they go to a lot of homes and you never know if they could like see something, right? And
how did these little tiny YouTubers that aren't law enforcement, have no experience, you could barely find them in the algorithm, know all these people's missing parents, and they're like a team that swoops in? How do they connect to these parents of these missing persons? How? It's like odd to me. She only has 16,000 subs right now. That's it. And that's like 10K that was just made off of Sebastian's story.
And want you to know, did you know BHB still watches your campsites?
She's got to find it first.
Are they talking rude to you, Dolly? Let me know. I'll get them. I'm in the mood today, honey. I'll block everybody. Don't come in here being nasty.
If Dolly's in here, if you don't mind. Yes, Dolly, I was on Turtle Island. Yes, that was me. I did call in and I did purchase the egg, just so you know.
As if he hasn't talked to Dolly. I mean, this is so ridiculous. Purchasing eggs on a fake game show called Turtle Island. We've all heard of, Epstein Island and all that. I mean, it's just atrocious. The connections that you make when you hear things, right? And the context. And it's just not, it's so funny. And it's funny, haha. This guy is hopping on and off panels, playing with game shows, making what.
Is there a nickname or this is wishful thinking? Fafo 2025 said, is there a nickname or birthmark Sebastian goes by or answers to? And then I guess a birthmark that's identifiable.
And what's even worse is Dolly Vision has said many times that he lives right next to Katie's mom, right? He's like, I live next to Katie's biological mom, the one that, is registered. And that family right there.
Sebastian has
odd.
It's not quite a cluster, but it's like 3 or 4 freckles on his neck. It'll be on the right side. So if you look at him, it's his right side of his neck, and they're not, like I said, they're kind of like in a line, in an area that almost look like beauty marks. That is very identifiable. He tends to walk on the balls of his feet. He is he does have what they call pigeon chest. So the cartilage in his chest bone is growing, but it's growing outward. So it kind of looks like one side of his chest kind of sticks up a little farther than the other side. Hence why he had the breastplate on. Trying to think. He's got that run that he likes to do.
The Naruto run.
Yep. The
Naruto.
Naruto guy. Yep, he runs like that. That's very identifiable.
And that's not unsettling. Cletus, some guy that he just met, allegedly knows these answers before he did. And we're getting more descriptive features now, right? Now that it's over a year. But in the beginning, Sebastian looked young. We didn't hear any of this. I mean, Seth was trying desperately, and they were accusing us of, not us, but I'm saying like anybody that was sharing the flyers that had more current looking photos of a teenager, right? Not a teenager under the bus line of their mom that we were seeing on Fox and Friends. Because that's the one that I saw was on the Fox and Friends. And he looked like a little, under the bus line to his mom. And a lot of children, they have physical presentations when they have different abilities, right? So with this chromosome deletion and then the autism, you just assumed, for me anyway, having kids with, complex medical needs, that he might just present as a lot younger in appearance, and he may not have no communicative speech. He may be verbal, but he could be verbal and not, doesn't mean anything. He could just make sounds. It doesn't mean yet, we all know what it was in the beginning, but now we'll talk about things that would have stood out.
Smile is very identifiable. He's got, when he smiles real big, like goofiness, he's got this huge smile and his teeth are kind of out there and he squints his eyes kind of thing. If his hair is grown out and he doesn't brush it, he's got a real gnarly cowlick. I mean, he can make alfalfa jealous.
In the front, is that what you're talking about?
No, in the back. In the back, he's got the cowlick. So the swirl, man, it's always been a struggle to get it to lay down. But man, when that thing's long, boy, that thing will stick up. That's very identifiable.
Someone asked a few times, and we're talking, so I didn't. What was his favorite?
He's gotten better, I think, right? It's only took a year, but he still couldn't remember Naruto. Cletus had to come in with that one. But we've gotten better with knowing what to say and how to answer, in my opinion.
Favorite subject in school?
All right, let's see. What else?
He loved math, science. If he got to read what he wanted to read, he loved reading the Minecraft books. I think there was I think his dad had some couple books that he would read. Let's see what else. I mean, I'm pretty sure PE was always a favorite with every kid. But yeah, math and science, I know for a fact, were some of his favorite.
Well, Daisy Duke, they've said before he's not a big hat fan.
No, right? Unfortunately, we got him a bunch of hats, but he doesn't really wear hats.
I think it's the first time I ever heard him in present tense.
Is you, girl? Hold on, let me look. I'm sorry, y'all. Chat is literally
questions. It's just literally trying to keep up with them. Here's one from Surf and Turf. They asked, has Sebastian ever gone off by himself before?
Not that we know of. We had heard early on in the investigation that Seth was found by a car underneath the car.
You mean Sebastian, not Seth, right?
Just say Seth. He just said Seth was found.
That Seth was found by a car underneath the car.
You mean Sebastian, not Seth, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Sebastian. Yes.
He's probably reading chat. I just saw it. Go ahead.
Well, I read chat and then I looked up on my TV and there's a humpback whale kind of just like breaching the water, and I'm like, what the? All right, sorry. But Sebastian, no, not that we knew of, but he had been by a car that night we recreated that video. We had talked to the neighbor, and the neighbor did openly admit that he had found Sebastian by his son's girlfriend's car. Came and knocked on the door, but I mean, as far as I know, no, Sebastian.
You hear that? When they were out there with the locals, with the neighbors, that's when allegedly they're recreating a video, which is why, like I've said, a lot of this I don't I don't trust some of the videos until Ellie confirms that they were from Sunday night, because we have these early reenactments, which, I mean, how do we know they're not distractions? I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying this is why I keep a very open mind with that. And then the neighbor tells them that he was under the car. Okay.
Not really take off. I mean, no.
Dolly, I have asked you this so many times in chat during Turtle Island, and you never answer me. Do you think Karen Reed is guilty or innocent? Do you want to come up here, Dolly? I don't.
Dolly, come up, man. Come on.
I can drop a link, but I need to know what you think about Karen Reed. Because you never answer me, right? Because the chat is always flying. He thinks she's guilty. Okay. I think so too, but I tried to do a stream on her and whoa, people did not like that. So I was like, well, fuck it. Y'all don't want to go by the PCA and the info in it. And it's clearly showing me that I think she did it, but okay.
Oh, here's a question that I saw.
So come up and talk about another case, not come up. You know, Chris is all excited to have him come on up. You know, not get his opinion, you know, what he thinks, any ideas on raising awareness.
But earlier, and I just caught it again this time, and it reminded me. You know, that video clip that was put out, I guess, right before you guys did the interviews with the local news. What you got any opinion about who that person is, or what that is, that shadow that's walking around, or that looks like it's walking around?
No, I don't know who it is. I would love to know something about it. I would like to have known that, you know, law enforcement had probably put more effort into figuring out who it was by dismissing it so early, much like they did for the green hoodie person. You know, I will say that. It's my personal opinion.
Now you guys are arguing over Karen Reed. B. Tim would be so proud.
I don't believe it, because law enforcement said they knew about it and they had plenty of time to investigate and figure it out. So I don't know how that's comparable, but I guess it is for whatever his intentions.
Meg's asking, do you think Sebastian would go outside of a neighborhood if kids knocked at the window?
I don't know. I mean, there's always a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say as much. Sebastian's becoming a teenager. You know, anybody that's got children that have grown up, you know, you always thought you knew your kids, and they hit the teenage years, and it's like, whoa. You never know what they can do or capable of, and then it's kind of like, well, I didn't realize that, and then you find out things. So it's always possible, always.
Titans fan is asking, is there anything to the lights at 3 a.m. and was there a car?
I'm taking this as in reference to the Mob Cruise video.
Yeah, the one he's done 157,216 times.
Another.
Yeah. To go ahead and tell you that, the one lights and the time on the videos are actually wrong. Law enforcement has confirmed that. The one looks like it's running down or something. That was actually a gentleman taking his trash can to the street. He has already admitted to that. When
admitted to that. Okay.
you look at the screen, the second light, who's ever holding a camera is moving. But every light in the video can be pinpointed. They know exactly where it is. There was no vehicle that like stops, pulls in. There is a newspaper vehicle that comes in the neighborhood. Every other vehicle in the neighborhood has or is accounted for. Law enforcement had put that out there. And to come back and dispute that, I think you're a bit of a fool.
yes, I'm going to say this out loud, mob crew, I think you're a fool if you think that your technology is any better than Sumner County's, FBI's, TBI's, and the Secret Service.
Fair enough. I won't argue that. I will not argue that. And God knows. I remember how fucking cold it was.
Oh, yeah.
When we were trying to recreate it to figure out what the fuck it was we were looking at. So, yeah.
And we did it not once. We had to do it twice.
Yeah. Let's see.
So what were they doing early on when Clue and Cletus were out there? Because they said they did the recreation, and that was what, like 6 months in, wasn't it? Didn't they do this recreation video sometime at the end of the summer? The one they reference all the time that Crabtree talked about. But Clue and Cletus, they have live streams, and they were out there very early walking around in the pitch dark with night vision and things. So what were they doing? Wasn't that a recreation too? And wasn't that before some of these videos dropped? I'm just hypothesizing. It's very odd.
Damn, Pam, he's already at, well, I mean, I'll ask it because I don't think it was asked that way. Did Seth give Sebastian a phone that you were unaware of?
No.
There's always a possibility, but we do not know.
Okay.
Yeah, the answer would have been the same.
True. Do you have, so this is from 911, Give It to God, said, do you have any suspicion of what could have happened without telling us? So I guess it's just generally, do you have any theories in your head?
I don't. I mean, that's the crazy part. I wish there was, but I don't.
Wouldn't it be normal to have tons and tons of all different theories, all different things that you think could have happened?
Michelle, y'all.
Unless if you know what happened, in my opinion.
And said Ellie never.
We're
said they
almost done
knew
with this,
who
guys.
The unknown person.
Almost done. The baby has to get up for his medicine and another papa in a few minutes. And then we'll be wrapping up because it's close to almost over.
And is. Are they talking about in the neighborhood?
Yeah, I think they're referring
In the,
Ann's
like the
referring to
shadow.
that. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Ann's referring to that video Steve had put out.
Well, I mean, they
Yeah,
also.
law enforcement. They never came out and said who it was.
Well, they didn't say
And
who.
they never said that they know who it was either.
Right.
So
Princess Gaga said, did he have any bullies at school? I guess that y'all were aware of.
no. I mean, not really. I mean, it's high school, so I'm sure that there were kids that made fun of him. I'm sure there are. I mean, anybody that doesn't think that way, yeah. I mean, okay. I would like to think that he wasn't being bullied, but he was in a very his classroom, and he was escorted everywhere he went. So I don't know if he would have had an opportunity to be bullied, to be honest with you.
That's ridiculous the way he answered that because, he would know first off if you're an active parent. Having a one-on-one aide or a para saying escorted, it's just the way he talks about Sebastian makes it unsettling to me. I'm just going to increase the speed a minute and replay that. That's at 3 hours, 37 minutes, and 13 seconds.
He was escorted everywhere he went. So I don't know if he would have had an opportunity to be bullied, to be honest with you.
Okay. And somebody asked, it's scrolled past, but somebody asked about, well, no, it's not. Summer Girl had asked, can Sebastian learn a different language?
His mind is still being formed, so yes. Was he interested in learning another language? Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Amy said, I substituted for 5th grade today, and kids can be really mean.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
What
these
does it
kids
have
out
to
here,
do with anything?
they're different.
They have parents like you. The horrible things you say about people.
You guys are freaking making me paranoid about this weather.
It's such a distraction.
well.
It's ridiculous. Okay, let's see what else.
Of course there is.
Here's one from Surf and Turf. They asked, has Sebastian ever gone off by himself before?
We heard that already.
Not that we know of. We had heard, to put this out there, but California to here, I've made sure Sebastian has had the opportunity to go to a San Diego Seals lacrosse game, baseball games with the Padres. He went and saw the Michigan college football team, Michigan State, and I forgot who they played in California and San Diego. I paid and I bought 4 tickets for Katie, him, my aunt and uncle, because I was working. Sent them to a Predators game. He had a blast doing that. Minor league hockey team, he's seen that. He's seen soccer. I hadn't been able to get him to a Titans game yet. That was kind of on the list.
In California, it was a long time ago.
He loves going to sports because that way you can hoot and holler and it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the videos of him at that Predators game.
WNZ Granny said, Chris, I don't know how you handle those heights, but just wanted to say my daughter repairs those cranes. My prayers are with you and Katie.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Chris and Katie, from sending you love and prayers from Oklahoma, and I pray that Sebastian comes home soon. Thank you so much, Chris, for taking the time to talk to us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Christina said, Clue, tell Chris when Sebastian comes home, we have season tickets and we will give him tickets.
Oh, thank you so much. Sebastian will be tickled.
Isn't it supposed to be like the end of March, early April when that show will air?
The end of April. That's the last I was told was the end of April.
I love how you guys are updating the weather. A tornado watch has been issued for a large portion of western and middle Tennessee, including areas from the Mississippi River to just west of Nashville. This watch is in effect until midnight. CDT tonight, which is 10 p.m. MST.
Are there other big platforms like that are maybe on the horizon that you know
of? Potential. I don't have. I don't want to say things prematurely.
Yeah.
But there's always a possibility. If anybody knows of major production, when I say production, like news, America's Most Wanted was amazing. We would love an opportunity to speak with them. I know that they're busy. Never hurts to reach out.
I think the only people that they know of that were on it was obviously him, Katie, and Seth. And possibly you said some of the cops, right?
I think Chief or Sheriff Craddock may have made a statement. I don't know exactly. But what I do know is the three of us for sure.
They weren't
Another
together. They
question
did it
that's
on
come up
separate
several
days.
times, and I've been
he
meaning
said.
to ask it, but I couldn't remember if you already addressed it at the beginning or not. This rumor, and quite frankly, videos and everything else being put out there that a criminal warrant was served on y'all this morning. Any truth to that? Anything you want to say about that?
This actually, no criminal warrant was served. A summons was served. Somebody had a scanner playing and they heard the deputy say, Central have me at 1008 he does say criminal warrant, but it is a summons for Betty's criminal court case, April 16th. I do believe Jay showed that this morning. I did send that to her.
Yeah, she did.
So, I mean, I think everybody's just, I don't know, on edges of seats because they're all worried about, trust me, somebody gets arrested, everybody in the world's going to know.
Well, it definitely said criminal warrant. We all heard it. At least he admitted it. And we'll find out.
Let's see. Suspect anyone that hasn't been mentioned in Sebastian's disappearance on media. No names needed. You still there? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know how to answer that. I mean, I don't have any answers. Because one, that would be throwing a speculation out there, and I'm not going to speculate. Sorry.
No, it's fair.
Dolly says, "What do you think about Tony? I may have missed this if someone asked."
It was asked, and what I think about Tony. Tony is Tony. He doesn't affect me or Katie. He is working with Seth. And I guess to each is your own, I guess,
Yeah, and for everyone talking about a criminal warrant, you guys do realize that he went to the courthouse today after that happened.
Yeah.
I would think if they wanted him, they could have got him because there was a whole lot of cops. Wasn't there a whole lot of cops in that courtroom?
Yeah, you would have.
There was 4 sheriffs, the deputy sheriffs in the court.
Right?
Come
And
out
I'm
that
like,
door
what do y'all think is about to happen? And they're sitting there looking like,
Can't
why the
warrants
fuck
be
are we
used
all
to
here?
search
Like they
vehicles,
literally had that look on their
cars,
face,
search
like, what are we
properties.
all doing here? But last time it was quite crowded. So
Lori said,
Didn't say it was an arrest warrant.
I'm asking this for a third time, and I apologize if I missed it before, but said, are Chris and Katie in regular contact with LE? Would be nice to clear up the rumors that they have both obtained attorneys.
And I don't know what it was or what it wasn't. I didn't look into it like that. I just wanted to hear what was said on the audio, which is why I have Broadcastify, and I just went and looked and heard it myself. That's all.
As if I missed it before, but said, are Chris and Katie in regular contact with LE? Would be nice to clear up the rumors that they have both obtained attorneys.
Well, that's nothing surprising. Yes, we've obtained attorneys. Who wouldn't obtain attorneys? We've had attorneys since we've been going to court with Betty.
Yep. No, he had a shirt on under the overalls, and it said, "This beard's taken." Something that I'm sure Butter's husband would never wear. Husband. He's sitting in a booking cell talking to us right now.
Pickle said Clue was his one call. No, he's not a criminal out on a $20,000 bond, unlike some people. I'm just saying.
$20,000 bond. It's crazy. Was there anyone you were surprised to see or not see? Not really.
Lee Bird wanted to know, has Sebastian ever been to a NASCAR race?
No, I haven't had a chance to get him to one. The last time we had tickets was, I think it was like 4 years ago, I think. And Sebastian was actually at his dad's that weekend.
get tickets when he was with you guys. Okay.
Oh,
Just like you couldn't have him come stay in the nice
Oh, them
camper.
overalls pissed them off bad. They pissed that green team off so bad, it's crazy. I've never seen such stuff, too.
I'm actually excited to watch her fucking the whole fucking thing about her getting mad
Yeah.
about the overalls, because that shit's funny. That's about 30% of the damn reason I do it, just to watch her get mad and bitch about it.
I just think it's kind of disrespectful to go to court like that.
Yeah.
But that's just
Yes.
me.
So the people that were there were me, him, obviously Chris and Katie, Chris's mom and sister, UA, and Crabtree and Terry Lynn. And then across the pond or aisle, all I saw was Betty.
So isn't that interesting? The original OG local people from the first original live streams. How can Linky Dinky? Because it's normal, right? It's normal to not have, close friends and family and just become so close to strangers that are all creators, right? It's so normal.
Sean and the E's, and I think maybe that's Sonia, I don't know.
I think
Whatever.
it's Sonia. Just spelled funny.
Okay,
Oh, Mike,
Sonia.
that's so exciting. I'm really excited to see that. Sorry, Mike, I think I might have misread what you said. I thought you meant you were going to be on it. But no, I do. I'm excited to see what's coming for this special, because I think maybe we'll get a little bit of a perspective. I'm hoping we get a perspective from law enforcement. I don't know. I'm hopeful. But yeah, I mean, they've been trying for a long time. I mean, way in the beginning, I remember going by that park and seeing a whole bunch of people, and it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. How ridiculous. But we all know it. It's all he's wanted. He got body moving and plenty of people. It's really...
Next court date, a bunch of us should
The good thing is, though, there's plenty of people and plenty of stories to be told that will come out in time that are honest and truthful and not scripted and manufactured in a way that's atrocious, in my opinion. And it's just awful.
show up in overalls. Chris, do you think Ellie is telling Seth things that they are telling you guys? That's from Dolly.
Very possible. I mean, Ellie doesn't have to be honest. They don't have to tell you anything.
I did wear my robber shirt. It's professional.
She
When
says
she
she wore
consistently
a
wears pants.
robber shirt, a robber, R-O-B. Is that what she just said? What'd she say?
Ellie doesn't have to be honest. They don't have to tell you anything.
I did wear my robber shirt. It's professional.
What is this? Oh my gosh. This is just...
When she consistently wears pants, then she can speak on overalls. Until then, Betty, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, UA was there.
Oh my God.
No, they never speak.
But Cluminati and them, they don't script things and fake things.
Sorry. I don't know why I said Tyler. Clue, someone in chat trying to start stuff. Say I'm a real lifer. I'm not worried about it. Just making you aware.
Yeah, y'all behave.
I mean, what's a fucking real lifer? All my information's out there, so go real life on me. Don't give a fuck. Cameron and Crime, thank you for the super chat. Chris, what is the top creator on YouTube you wish you could just shut up? And support from the heart and soul for you and Katie. That's a trick question.
It's not really a trick question. It's easy answer. It's real simple. And I think I do wish people would stop with drama and focus on Sebastian and make it about Sebastian and not about this person, this, that person, this, who did this, who did that, et cetera, et cetera. Focus back on Sebastian, reel it all the way back to Sebastian. Not about the parents, not about anything else, just Sebastian.
And how many hours was this total? Let's see, when did he come on? About 1 hour, 15 minutes. So over 3 hours, and we haven't heard hardly anything about Sebastian.
Maggie K says, I grew up with the wife of a very famous country singer. The initials are BP, I'm assuming. From Franklin.
I know who that is.
Brad Paisley, I'm guessing.
The percentage
I
of
want to
what they
reach out to them and see if they can do something for Sebastian. That would be awesome. I actually went into someone's chat the other night and tried to get their attention talking about it with stop signs.
If you can, it'd be amazing. It really would. It'd be phenomenal.
So she said, I have subscribers who have asked since I gave a few away before. And thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
Purchase shirts with Sebastian's info on them. She has subscribers. Well, she said, sorry. She said, I have subscribers who have asked since I gave a few away before. And thanks, Chris.
Yes, it's all still done with that same printing company down in Horn Lake, Mississippi. We do not sell shirts. We had the design made, and purchasing shirts would have to be done through him. Once again, that we don't want any part of money. I'm sure we may still have some shirts left to send to Duchess.
Body moving. Happy 6-month anniversary,
See,
girl.
she's
She said on
laughing.
replay. I can't believe he said Butterhead.
Oh.
UA was fine, guys. I mean, she spoke. We were talking about the text that came from BHB and all that. And I mean, that was it. She sat behind me and fiance and beside a Crabtree, but Crabtree came in late. He was in the wrong courtroom.
Let's see what else.
Hold on, let me block.
FAFO said, is there anything like a secured account with a bank or attorney that could hold an account for donations towards search efforts, such as the ground penetrated radar and etc.? Just a thought.
I'm sure there is. I don't know where to start with that, to be honest with you. I mean, I can
Oh, baloney. They've talked about this in the past. They know where to start with it. You could even do reward funds and have it in banks, and banks can help. There's all different ways. This is so ridiculous.
around and see what would be the best course of action, I guess. When families get involved with money, it does look bad.
Oh, we know that because he said on Smiley's live about how he asked about doing a GoFundMe. Seth didn't ask, he asked, and then law enforcement said it wasn't a good idea. Chris was the one that asked about money early on. You guys remember that? He's the one that asked. On Smiley's Story World, he told us about it.
And
On March
initially
20th.
we agreed not to be involved with it, and I'm sticking by that. We are not getting involved in any of the financial side of it.
Yeah, I don't believe that, in my opinion.
That's fair. I mean, I
think people take out cash and give cash and do all kinds of things.
See what happens
My
when
opinion.
it does. So I can
Bitcoin,
completely
crypto.
respect and understand that.
Dolly, that's whose chat I was in. He was playing Call of Duty. So I went in there and I was like, well, while you're online and there's only like 300 people in here, I'm going to try. But it was kind of hard because he couldn't really watch the chat. Like you would have to time it, right? But we had to go to bed.
The one that Clutch and Nuts put up that day, that was supposedly between him and Carter, or between somebody and Carter.
If you want my opinion, it's all fucking fake. Just like the ad for their house up for sale. Fuck that. He's a fucking liar and a scam artist. In my opinion, allegedly.
And she's talking about herself again.
Like Heather said, that was old shit debunked months ago.
Oh yeah, it was I think it was something to do with it being a criminal investigation. That's what it was.
I mean, I don't care what investigation they call it. I just want our son found.
Fair enough.
Which, to be fair, apparently in Tennessee, a runaway is a criminal investigation because it's.
But they said it wasn't an investigation. You can look it up. If you're under 16 and you run away, they say it's criminal. But, this has never been criminal. DAs come in all the time and all this stuff. It's just the semantics of it all.
For a teenager under the age of 16.
Right. It's a crime for them to run away. Right.
Well, then I guess LE is in trouble. Because, right? Shouldn't it be? I don't know then. That's crazy. If they have these laws and they're not calling it a criminal investigation. Wouldn't that bring more attention to wanting FBI? If you were a parent, wouldn't you be worried? I mean, I don't know. It's just really odd.
Then I'll ask too, can Chris do a BJ impersonation again? That was hilarious.
Oh, so gross.
What?
What is the saying? What does she do?
If you could please take a moment and hit that like button. It helps us get into the algorithm.
That's right. That's right.
If y'all all would be so kind to just hit the thumbs up so we can get that algorithm up and we can be seen nationwide. It helps us get the channel out there so everybody sees our content.
It's just like I'm listening to butter, literally. Oh, can you say hold on?
Hold on.
I'm sure it's a bit deeper, so. I don't think you need to evacuate. I think you need to take shelter.
Anyone from Clarksville here, prepare for evacuations.
I don't think you need to evacuate. I think you need to take shelter.
I think so. I think that's right.
Please take shelter, not evacuate. You do not want to run outside into a tornado.
Somebody said, hold please. That was better than butter.
Chris and Katie be interested in having a booth at CrimeCon this year for Sebastian.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what CrimeCon is. I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. I mean, where is CrimeCon? That's another question. I mean,
I don't know where it is.
Where is
this
it?
Year?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at this year.
Denver, Colorado.
Oh wow. When?
I don't.
Sure,
It should be
love
coming
that.
up, or isn't it like in the summer? I know Dolly went last year. It was here.
Well, if it's in the summer, I'm going to have to decline because I have my daughter.
It's September 5th through the 7th.
Maybe not. Pray it doesn't
have a short period of time
this year.
Yeah, I don't think it's been a couple of day thing.
Yeah, it's just like a weekend.
We'd have to check our schedule and see. I mean, I'm not going to say no to it if it helps get Sebastian's name out there, things like that. But I mean, if it's like one of those drama fest places, I'll pass.
Yeah, I didn't want to go when it was here because I don't know. It just honestly.
Oh, Body can
good.
help
She
and
heard
get
it.
them in
Okay.
contact with somebody there.
Another one.
Isn't that nice of her?
It looked fucking boring to me.
Oh, it's so gross.
But
this is so gross.
Akira says, does Katie have any thoughts on RHFV prayers?
When you see somebody that's just trying to do this from the beginning,
The
all the way
Rogers
around,
I guess.
just wants content, doesn't know where the kid is. It's just gross.
We will probably not make any comments on that, seeing how I think he is in a court battle. Probably best we not speak on that.
Body said, I'm speaking. If you need a contact there, I can help for sure.
I'm speaking.
Body will be speaking there. Oh, at CrimeCon. Okay. Is that what you're talking about? Body?
I think that's what she's saying there. And Chai or Kai, I don't know how you pronounce that. They asked Chris, "How's your daughter doing through this?" and said, "My prayers for all."
She's very strong and she is doing very well. Thank you very much. Thank you. Actually, no, you cannot do that. That will get you in some legal trouble, believe it or not. To keep it as PG as possibly. Bottles.
Now they're
and
talking about how
bags
to
of
go to the bathroom in a
Oh
crane.
man,
Chris, oh my God. I hope you never have the bubble guts at work. Y'all are fucking terrible.
hungry
Disgusting.
now.
Look, Jolly using all caps is no different than Jay coming in here with her fucking fancy check mark, okay?
Some of you just have enough room to spin around in the seat and then open a door. And guys riding down on the hook for 60, an excavator 460. And it's got a hydraulic thumb, and what it does is reach down and grabs the. Okay, are you the center of a donut? Are you referring to the?
I'm talking for like 20 minutes about crane operating.
I'm right on this. Donut shape. I know he's like answering questions.
Well,
yeah.
You know, cognitively process as I can, because I think it is good for people to be able to interact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, you know, look, nobody knows what happened to.
Every time they speak, right?
Did he say
like,
goodbye?
We hardly, unless I forget to pay the.
That you may need.
Oh, here we go. He's saying goodbye.
Power enough, you know what I mean?
That's why I don't get one.
Right, like we hardly, unless I forget to pay the damn bill.
Well, you say that, and now tonight we'll be out for like 4 days after this line moves through. So
oh yeah, I shouldn't have said anything.
Well, Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong.
Truth.
It's better to need it and have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Our trampoline's gone. The last storm took it out, but my little trampoline will be fine. It's in the den. So, all right, guys.
You have like 3 of those?
I do. I actually think I have 4. They all bounce different. You need a variety. That way your boobs don't end up looking like Betty's.
Like this girl should talk. Have we all seen what she?
I'm being serious. You can't do all that. You know what I mean? Moving around. You got to get some variation in there. Or them things will be at your damn ankles before you know it.
Can you even see your ankles? I'm sorry, that was mean, but I mean, come on.
Well, y'all be safe, and I'll hear from you guys soon. And as you guys like to say, bye.
Bye.
Oh,
I'm so glad. Like he could just come out here, just like
hang out.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's like answering questions.
Well, that's why I was trying to just ask everything I could catch and you know, cognitively process as I can, because I think it is good for people to be able to interact, right?
Well, that's enough forever, right? I thank you guys so much for coming by and joining me going over this. I appreciate you guys for doing that. It's a unsettling experience, to say the least, for some of us, I know. Let me catch up on chat. Oh, I know, Mary. I cannot. Ugh. Sue, I know. I agree. We can only pray and hope. And really, I think that search would be beneficial, right? After listening to this again and hearing this again, the same, you know, focus, the same learning. Thank you so much, Mike, for all your insight. I appreciate it so much. I'll be checking and monitoring for your next video. I have 2 on my playlist I have to catch up on, and I'm going to probably fall asleep while I listen, but then I'll finish them tomorrow. They are, Mike. They really are. No. I mean, the growth of the channels, I mean, you can tell they're not trying to grow a channel in 16,000 subscribers when you've had a case like this. It speaks volumes to me. If you're trying to grow a channel and you're trying to make a business for yourself, and I just, It is what it is. I try to be polite. It's been a rough week though, so I'm not on my A game right now with the baby surgeries. That was a nightmare last week. But luckily I will get a little snoozy today. You know, your body adjusts when you have to be like this, when you have to work. You know, sometimes you have to do the graveyard shifts, and your body is amazing for adjusting. So a lot of times, you know, getting up for so long, every 3 to 4 hours, you get used to it. And then on certain days when I have the sitter here to help, or if my husband's off, you know, then I catch up on sleep. Even though they say you can't catch up on sleep, you can catch up a little. But it's been a stressful week, and it comes out sometimes, right? I hold myself to a different standard with things sometimes a little too much, and it's silly, just like the monetizing and, you know, but you don't want to, I don't know. I don't know how people don't care about how they present themselves. You know, we have our good days, we have our bad days. But when you're talking about a missing child, a real missing teenager, a real missing person, I don't, it doesn't compute when you hear such yuckiness, you know? I mean, my wording is terrible right now because I'm tired, but I'm just saying it's unsettling and it's hard. But I really think that there's always been a reason that there's so much online, and a lot of people have a hard time going through it. Some don't even know it exists. Nobody cares. There's a lot of us that do care, and we're trying to do the best we can to figure out what we can do to help. And this is some way that we can help in a little tiny way. Oh God. Well, I hope you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you all soon. You take care of yourselves and just keep pushing Sebastian out there if any way that you know that you can. Yeah. I'm flabbergasted by the lack of awareness where I live, really. I'll talk about that on another night, but you know, because I'm still having to go up north so much, but I'm primarily here in Tennessee now. And it is really astounding to me. Like, so many people honestly aren't aware about Sebastian missing. And I do see banners in certain areas. There's one right on Wilma Rudolph Boulevard in Clarksville when you come off 24. And there's another one further down the road on Wilma Rudolph. I see those banners all the time, and I think they get replaced every time Bullhorn Betty comes, is what I'm thinking, honestly. I'm going to have to comment and ask, because I think she's the one that's putting them up, and they stay. So it just shocks me that they're not staying in other places. It doesn't add up. How do they stay up in some locations, but they don't stay up in others? You know, I don't buy it. I don't know. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great night.
Woke up before the dawn. She's got her armor on, fighting for those who can't. Champion with a loving chant. Investigates the hidden truth with a pen sharp and couth. Unlocks doors with every word, and justice never goes unheard. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Canceling in every call, patching up before the fall. She sees the good in every face, spreads hope all over the place. Like Dr. Phil with a softer touch, opinions from below so much. Her guidance is a shining star, lift Dad's on the streets, he's searching all night, under the moon in the dim city light. Mom and stepdad nowhere in sight. Everyone's asking where is he tonight. It's whispers and shadows in every call, searching the alleys, wall to wall. YouTubers blog, but they don't solve it all. Dad's the only one who stands tall. Lost in the noise, where's the truth? Missing tinkle from his youth. Echoes of questions in every booth. Dad won't stop till he finds the proof. Why are they running? What's the story behind? Secrets unfold, but answers they bind. Eyes of the world, but no one's kind. Dad's on the trail, losing his mind. So many distractions clouding our view. Media circus and the lies they construe. Heart's on fire and his love still true. Dad won't rest till the boy breaks through. Lost in the noise, where's the truth? Missing tinkle from his youth. Echoes of questions in every booth. Dad won't stop till he finds the proof. Lost in the noise, where's the truth? Missing tinkle from his youth. Echoes of questions in every booth. Dad won't stop till he finds the proof. Dad's on the streets, he's searching all night, under the moon in the dim city light. Mom and stepdad nowhere in sight. Everyone's asking where is he tonight. It's whispers and shadows in every call, searching the alleys, wall to wall. YouTubers blog,